This is NTV. This is NTV.
Kwene embeera y'abasajja bano
essuubi nga lyakugwamu maama.
Bano abasajja bano abasajja
Dakiika ebula 3 okuwera essaawa emu mbaniriza nnyo ku NTV ku Saawa Emu naku z'omwezi 5 olunaku lwa Sunday. Nze Farida Nakazibwe tusinziira ku Kampala Serena Conference Center okuweereza butereevu. Okulwanyisa ekirwadde ky'Ebola kwongeddwamu ebbugumu. Olwaleero bannaddiini mu masinzizo agasinga beegasse ku kaweefube ono ne balabula abantu ku bulabe obuli mu kukwatagana mu ngalo nga beeyagaliza emirembe nga bwe gutera okuba. Gwo omuwendo gw'abakafa gukyali ku 17. Tovaawo sooka ofune emitwe emikulu. Okulwanyisa Ebola mu masinzizo abakristaayo bagaaniddwa okusikangana mu mikono. Ekibale abantu abalala 2 bakakasiddwa okuba ne Ebola, 2 mu bana baluyiseeko balinda kusiibulwa. Okukuuma obutebenkevu abasirikale ba poliisi 5 n'okusoba basiibuddwa. Songa mu mpaka za Olympics, Moses Kipsiro tebimugendedde bulungi mu z'okudduka embiro empanvu. Nkwaniriza nnyo ku NTV. Olwaleero katutandika eno ebibadde mu kkanisa okwawukanako ne bwe gubadde bulijjo. Olwaleero abakristo mu ekereziya Lutikko e Rubaga ebyokwagaziganya emirembe nga bakwatagana mu ngalo babizizza ku bbali. Kino kigendereddwamu kulwanyisa kirwadde kya Ebola ekitadde eggwanga ku bunkenke mu kiseera kino. Ate yo ku All Saints Cathedral e Nakasero abaayo nabo bakalatidde abakristaayo okwefaako ennyo mu kiseera kya Ebola.
Okwagaliza emirembe nga abakristo basikangana mu mikono kye kimu ku bintu ebitabula mu mmisa. Wabula olwaleero siwe kibadde mu kusinza okubadde mu Lutikko e Rubaga. Father Charles Mayanja ategeezezza abakkiriza nti ensonga y'Ebola ekutte wansi ne waggulu nga n'olwekyo balina okwegendereza. Mayanja agamba nti abantu basobola okweyagaliza emirembe mu mutima mu kifo ky'okwekwata mu ngalo.
Pulezidenti waffe yayogera nti Ebola waali awo nno tetuyinza kweguusa ne tubanga abatali mu Uganda yadde nga ekitongole ky'ebyobulamu kikola butaweera naye ate naffe nga ekereziya tuteekwa okulabula abantu baffe.
Waweeru ekereziya buli kimu kigenze mu maaso nga bulijjo nga batunda ebintu bo batambuza emirimu gyabwe awatali kutya kirwadde ky'Ebola. Ate ku kanisa ya All Saints e Nakasero, Reverend Canon Hannington Muteyo ategeeza ng'ekkanisa bwe yeegasse n'ebitongole eby'obulamu wamu n'amalwaliro okusomesa abantu ku kirwadde kino eky'Ebola wamu n'okukirwanyisa.
Abantu baffe ne bamanya okwekuuma obulwadde buno tusobola okubulwanyisa. Kakati nga ffe ekkanisa wano All Saints Cathedral tukolagana ne aba AAR abujjanjabi obw'ensi.
Babakristaayo bategeeza ng'ekkanisa bw'etanaba kuteekawo obukwakkulizo bwonna okuggyako okunyiikiza okubasomesa.
Tewali makubo malungi ge bataddewo okulaba nti kino ekirwadde tekigenda nnyo mu bantu, naye tuli mu kukisabira nga church era tukkiriza nti Katonda ajja kukiwonya.
Ekirwadde ky'Ebola kikutte wansi ne waggulu wadde nga ab'ebyobulamu bakola kyonna ekisoboka okulwanyisa. Suhail Mugabi, NTV ku Saawa Emu.
Obali nnyo gavumenti ebuulidde abantu b'Ekibale nga bw'eri awamu nabo mu kiseera kino eky'okusomoozebwa ng'ekirwadde ekya Ebola kyeriisa nkuule. Minisita w'ebyobulamu Dr. Christine Ondoa abaddeko mu disitulikiti eno agamba nti wetunaatuukira okukuza emyaka 5 egy'ameefuga mu mwezi ogwa Oktoba Ebola ajja kuba amaze okulinnyibwa ku nfeete. Kikakasiddwa nti abalwadde abalala 2 abateeberezebwa okuba ne Ebola batwaliddwa mu ddwaliro e Kagadi eggulo so nga 24 ku 36 ababadde beetegerezebwa tebasangiddwa mu kirwadde kino era bagenda kusibulwa. Gavumenti era yakujjukira omusawo eyafudde bwe yabadde ajjanjaba abalwadde abasookera ddala ng'ekirwadde kino tekinnakakasibwa.
Done yesterday, we're still with the patients, but nothing has been written. Yeah. So today I went in and to the greatest extent possible, I tried to make sure the names are written down there.
Minisita w'ebyobulamu ekakasizza nga waliwo abantu abalala 2 abateeberezebwa okuba nga bakwatiddwa ekirwadde ky'Ebola abaleeteddwa mu ddwaliro Kagadi okwekebejjebwa olunaku lw'eggulo. Waliwo n'ekifo eky'amaanyi era eky'omulembe ekiteereddwa mu ddwaliro Kagadi okusobola okujjanjabirwamu abakwatiddwa ekirwadde kino. Kyokka kitegerekese nti nnamba y'abafudde ekirwadde kino tena kweyongera nga bakyali ku 17.
Embeera tugikutte bulungi e Kagadi Hospital era nga bwe twogerera tulina abalwadde 36 abali mu ddwaliro lyaffe era ku 36 bano 24 tumaze okubakebera nga tebalina bulwadde bw'Ebola era tulinze kubasiibula baddeyo ewaabwe ewaka. Tetunnaba kufunayo bantu balala bafudde lwa bulwadde bano era bano ababiri betwogerako betulina mu ddwaliro tubajjanjaba bulungi era ripooti ziraga nti nno barispondinga bulungi.
Abantu abali mu 3 nga banateeberezebwa okuba nga baliko engeri gye basembererako olw'okukwata ku bantu abalina ekirwadde ky'Ebola be bali mu kulondoolebwa. Waliwo n'abakugu okuva mu Mulago ne Butabika abatwaliddwa mu kitundu kino okuyamba ku balwadde bano n'abo bafiiriddwa abaabwe okubabudaabuda. Minisita w'ebyobulamu Christine Ondoa ng'alimu n'abakugu okuva mu kitongole ky'ebyobulamu ekya wano wamu n'ekyensi yonna y'omu ku babadde Ekibale olunaku lw'eggulo okwekenneenya embeera nga bw'eri mu kitundu kino. Minisita agamba nti gavumenti ekola kyonna ekisoboka okulaba ng'eyamba abalina obulwadde buno wamu n'okulaba nga tebusaasaanira bitundu birala. Kyo ekitongole ky'ebyobulamu ekyensi yonna kigamba nti okusoomoozebwa kukyali kw'amaanyi.
And it's our wish that one of the independence gifts we will give to Uganda is that by the time we celebrate our independence, we will be free of Ebola. We will be happy, we will be calm, we will be free to celebrate it everywhere in the country.
It's possible because the task is very, very heavy. It's challenging for the few people. We need to mobilize more people. We need to invest much more resources to see if we can control and even constrain this as soon as possible.
Ab'ebyobulamu ne gavumenti okutwaliza wamu bavudde n'okubiriza abantu okubeera abeegendereza ennyo mu kiseera kino eky'Ebola naddala nga beewala okukwatagana mu ngalo.
Webale nnyo omukulembeze w'eggwanga Yoweri Museveni asabye poliisi okwongera okukolagana obulungi ne Ssaabawabi wa gavumenti okukoma ku bamenyi b'amateeka. Museveni bino abyogeredde ku ttendekero lya poliisi ery'e Kabalye bw'abadde akakasa abasirikale abasoba mu 5 abamaliriza okutendekebwa. Yo poliisi agisiimye okulwanyisa ebikolwa eby'okwegugunga ebyali bicyanse mu ggwanga emyezi egiyise.
Museveni agamba nti poliisi esobodde bulungi okulinnya ku nfeete abantu ababadde baagala okwonoona erinnya lya Uganda naddala nga bayita mu kwekalakaasa. Museveni wabula alaze obwennyamivu ku ngeri poliisi gyekwatamu obuzi bw'emisango gy'agambye nti yasemugayaavu ng'erina okukyuka. Era wanaagamba nti senga poliisi eneegoberera amagezi g'abawadde nga bakwataganira wamu ne Ssaabawabi wa gavumenti obumenyi bw'amateeka bujja kukendeera. Museveni awaddeyo obukadde 2 eri ssaako ya poliisi zibayambeko okwekulaakulanya. Ate ye ssenkulu wa poliisi Lieutenant General Kale Kayihura ategeezezza abapoliisi abamaliriza okutendekebwa nti batuukidde mu kiseera poliisi weesingira okwetaagibwa naddala ku kulwanyisa obumenyi bw'amateeka. Abasirikale 538 be babanguddwa nga 143 babadde bakyala ate abalala 5 bagobeddwa olw'obusiiwuufu bw'empisa. Dini Lubowa Saawa, NTV ku Saawa Emu.
Abalenyo Dini Lubowa Saawa. Agava Ebusi yaganna mukadde w'emyaka 6 akubiddwa amasanyalaze ne gamutirawo. Ono yabadde agezaako kutaasa muzzukulu we eyakubiddwa amasanyalaze bwe yabadde ayanika engoye ku waya. Omuzukulu akabenje kano akasimatuse wadde ngaali mu ddwaliro. Yenna nnyini ennyumba bano kwe bapangisa amazeemu omusubi bwe kizuuliddwa nti amasanyalaze agavuddeko obuzibu buno yagasibayo mu bukyamu.
Abatuuze ku kyalo Mawere mu tawuni kanso y'e Busia baasibye ku kyongobero kya munnaabwe Safina Namukose. Namukadde ono yabadde ataasa bulamu bwa muzzukulu we yakubiddwa amasanyalaze kyokka ye n'atalutonda.
Omwana abadde ayosengoye nagyokwanika kuwaya kati baze okwanika kuwaya bwakasusa olugoye bweruti ne lukona kuwaya eri amasanyalaze kati ono omugenzi awulidde omwana ng'agamba nti kati ye oludduse mangu naye erina okukola ki okukwata kumwanti n'omwana ali mu ddwaliro.
Nnyini ennyumba zinategerekeseeko erya Abudu kati aliira ku nsiko. Abawumeme batuuseko mu kifo kino ne bazuula nti amasanyalaze gano yagafuna mu bukyamu era n'akozesa abantu abatalina bumanyirivu okugayungirira.
These wires are not supposed to pass underground. And this is not only work. Maybe Kamyufu, they don't know who they touch things. But according to Meme, we give power from the pole to the meter. But where these wires are going, there is no meter, there is no wires are just passing underground.
Waya zino ezibadde zayisibwa mu ttaka zijjiddwayo kati poliisi yatandise dde okuyiga nnyini nnyumba zino.
Dakiika ziri 9 eziyise ku Saawa Emu bwebale nnyo okubeera naffe tugenda kummulamu katono ddala tovaawo katukomewo n'ekitundu ekyokubiri. Emityana abbye endiga akubiddwa mizibu poliisi yemutaasizza. Munnazikono katukubulira engeri ab'edda gye bakuumangamu obugagga bwabwe. Tovaawo.
This is NTV.
Fieldwork has been defined by different scholars. Some think it is an art.
These are the blood types that are in human beings. We have A.
When a chemical reaction takes place, it involves two things.
We are given a straight line that has been denoted by 2x minus y is equal to 6.
This is NTV.
Kwene embeera y'abasajja bano
essuubi nga lyakuggwamu mama.
Bano abasajja bano abasajja abanaatera n'okujja kusigiriza ffe ekiro basituleko emiwumbo gy'emmere bagitwale.
Sogera byange kibanda bana bagambanga ne bagamba bweyagala nkubulira ebyange ja tugende emyanzi.
Mpulira banyumya babeera bakujerega waliko omusawo w'ekinansi. South Africa baba bakujerega obituufu
baba banjerega oyo mufere mubbi mubbi yennyini yeetaaga
NTV ku Saawa Emu tukyagenda maaso mawulire amalala. Emityana poliisi etaasizza omuvubuka okuttibwa abatuuze nga bamulanga bubbi. Bino bibaddewo mu kiro ekikeesezza olwaleero ku kyalo Nakwaya mu ggombolola y'Ekikandwa. Omuvubuka ono kigambibwa nti yasoose kubba ndiga bwe baagimusuuzizza kwe kusalawo okumenya ennyumba y'omusomesa gye bamukwatidde.
Vincent Muwonge yasimatuse okuttibwa abatuuze Nakwaya mu ggombolola y'Ekikandwa mu disitulikiti y'Emityana. Poliisi bwe yabalabuukiridde nga bukyali. Muwonge yasoose kubba ndiga ne bagimusuuza ng'amaze n'okugisiba ku ggaali kwe yabadde agitwalira nga kuliko n'ekiso.
Batutte ebbanga banziba endiga zange ziwera. Kale okutuusa ono namusanze akoze ekyagisibye ku ggaali ningimusuuza.
Kigambibwa nti yalabye ekyo tekimumalidde kwe kumenya ennyumba y'omusomesa ategerekeseko erya Nabukeera abatuuze gye baamukwatidde.
Kati abalokole baabadde muli mu kyaki nabe baamulengedde wano nga amenya enju n'ayigera ddala nasako amusanze paka omulokole omulu yalabye nakati ng'enju yammaate omunzigula ate eddande bamu n'amasanze nga gaaka kati kwe kujja bagenda okusanga ali muno ngaali mu kusiba bintu.
Muwonge ono gye buvuddeko agambibwa okuba nga yalumba amaka ga Namukadde Mangadalena n'amunyagako ente ze 3 n'aleka ng'amukubye n'emiggo n'okutuusa kati ng'akyali ku kitanda e Mulago. Wabula bino byonna abyegaanye.
Wala osi yagenze okujja nga we bagamba nti nombuwa babyewo ebintu naye nga waggabi nga kuliko kufu nga bataddeko kufu awo nze nkimanyi tibampayiriza kyomukimanyi.
Kati Muwonge akuumirwa ku poliisi gye banamujja atwalibwe mu maaso g'omulamuzi avunaanibwe ogw'obubbi.
NTV ku Saawa Emu eddakiika ziri 13 eziiseeko. Ensangi zino abagagga babalabira ku bizimbe bye bataddewo mu kibuga n'emmotoka ez'amaanyi ze bavulumula saako ebirala. Obadde okimanyi nti Nazzikuno ng'oggyeko ebintu ebikalu obugagga bw'omuntu era baabulabiranga ku bungi bw'abantu okugeza eŋŋanda n'emikwano gy'alina. Bangi kati bwe bafunawo ku ssente tebaagala kwesembereza naddala abo abatali mu kalaasi yaabwe. Olwaleero mu Nazzikuno kati laba ab'edda gye baakuumangamu eby'obugagga byabwe wadde nga tewaliwo bifunga zi banka mwe bayinza kubiteresa nga bwe kiri ensangi zino.
Mbagamba nti obwavu mpologoma bw'oteerwa nako ekulya. N'abedda baafubanga nnyo obutanyomebwa nga bayitibwa abaavu. Weewaawo ebyokwejjalabya tebyaliwo nga bwe kiri ennaku zino, naye waaliwo ebyalabirwangako omusajja omugagga. Obugagga bwabwe okusinga bwali nga bwa mu nsibo ng'ettaka.
Ensibo nga kitegeeza nti ekintu okyesibyeko era toyagala kikuveeko. Kati nga bafuba nnyo okulaba nti obugagga bwabwe omuntu bw'amala okugaggawala tebumuvaako, nga balina ebiraalo by'ente era bagambanga nti oli mugagga olina ebiraalo by'ente, nga balina ebiraalo by'ente abamagana, nga balina embuzi nnyingi ezibayita olwebeeya lw'embuzi n'ebisolo ebirala bingi. Ate abagagga abali basinzeeko nga bafuna n'ebyalo. Omuntu nga omugagga omusajja ow'edda nga alina n'ekyalo nti ekyo kyalo kya gundi ate ng'asenzaako n'abasenze. Kakati abasenze abo nga abawa ebibanja nga balima ate si mu kulima okwo nga bamuleetera n'ebyokulya bingi.
Obugazi bw'ekika ky'omusajja nakyo kyali nga kikulu era abedda kye baavanga bawasa abakazi nga bangi ne bazaala n'abaana abawera.
Ekigambo ekikulu kye tulina okumanya mu nsi ya Katonda muno, abantu bugagga, abantu basinga ne ssente, kubanga n'abakola banka banoonya bantu, n'abakola amasomero banoonya bantu, n'abakoze obugagga bonna ab'amaduuka nabo banoonya bantu. Era nabuli kati baga nti awo nyomalira kikabunafu ekika eky'amaanyi era kiba ky'amaanyi. Yakati oli yawasanga abakazi bangi olw'okuba yayagalanga okuzaala abaana bangi ate era abafunemu emikisa mingi bagende abawe ebibanja bagende nga basenga kubanga gye bakomanga okusenga n'okuleeta ebireetebwa kubanga bonna basenganga ku ttaka ly'omwami, bonna baleetanga wano envujjo obusuulu. Omanyi ekigambo kye bayita kibanja, buli kiseera kibeera kibanja. Bw'obanga oli muvubuka n'ofuna ekibanja kikubanja omukazi, bw'obanga omaze okuwasa omukazi kikubanja omwana, bw'obanga omaze kikubanja emmere, kikubanja okukolerako buli lwotunula ng'otunula ku nsiko ekibanja kiba kikola ki kiba kikubanja buli kiseera ng'abantu bakozesa ebibanja byabwe era kyenva mulaba abantu abedda bagazi bayinanga ettaka nga bagaziwa era ekyo kyakuumanga ebyobugagga bwabwe kivulaba abasajja abedda abakyaliwo ne kati n'endi ezikyaliwo ezikyalina akobeza amaanyi bakyalina ettaka.
Ennyumba y'omugagga ku kyalo nga yanjawulo era nga n'ennyambala ye yasukkulumanga ku y'abalala.
Embugo zino kwegamba eza kimuti bali banafu abagagga bo ze bayambalanga ate abakopi nga bambala ebitentegere.
Omugagga ayambala n'ateekako n'omunagiro kati omunagiro yali badde nga bw'oyambala ate n'oteekako ekkooti kati musajja mugagga atuuludde.
Abasajja ng'abo baweebwanga ebitiibwa ng'omutaka era nga n'abazungu bwe bajja babatuukirangako anti nga balina enteekateeka ez'okulaakulanya ekitundu. Abedda era baali basuubuzi ddala nga batambula okugenda ku muliraano naddala e Kenya ne Tanzania gye baanonanga ebyamaguzi era mu myaka abazungu mwe baaleetera emmwanyi ne pamba bangi baabiganyulwamu nnyo. Abagagga bangi awo we bajja ssente ezikyabogezaako n'okutuusa kati.
Emirembe egyo gye tuvuddemu egya pamba n'emmwanyi ate era abantu baali bakyalina omutima guli ogw'okwegatta. Abantu bali bakyalina omutima ogw'okukolera awamu. Abantu bali bakyalina omutima ogw'amazima. Abantu bali bakyalina omutima ogw'okumanya nti tukolerera nsi yaffe. Ebyo byonna byayambanga abantu okulaakulanya ebitundu byabwe.
Baabanga n'emmizi era ebitavu byabwe byakolanga nga banka era nga kizibu okumanya ebibafaako nga ssente zaabwe bazitereka mu nsuwa ze baakukuliranga mu nnyumba zaabwe mu luggya oba mu lusuku.
Ng'omusajja omukulu ateekwa okuba nga alina waatereka ssente ze aweekusifu abantu batamanyi ate nga ssente zibaayo kati nga balina ebittavu nga abakazi babeera ne ssente zaabwe baziteeka bagiyita na mikandala batereka ssente zaabwe ku luwuzi obwaba nga waliwo ekizibu ng'asobola okugyayo akasente kaako ne kamuyamba. Egyo owulira nti ensawo y'omukulu teggwamu ziika buli kiseera ebeeramu ssente.
Ensawo eyo nga yatungirwanga mu lubugo lwe bayita kimote. Ensawo eyo n'agiwanika waggulu mu kisenge emabega w'oluggi.
Kale n'omuganda ow'edda yenna mu nju ye mu kibanyi kye oba mu busegguusi awantu wonna tewabulangayo mitwalo. Era omusajja yenna alina omugagga ng'alina emitwalo gye. Era oyo gubanga omusajja mugagga alina emitwalo kakati gwe emitwalo tugirowooleza mu ssente naye ng'emitwalo gyabanga gya bintu bisibe.
Ennaku zino embeera yakyukira ddala kati osanga omugagga nga byonna by'alina nga yabisinga mu banka asobole okufunirako ebirala. Okulima tekukyali kw'amaanyi nga bwe gwali edda era abamu ssente kati bazijja mu byabufuzi ebikyasa ennyo ensangi zino.
Okyaliko NTV ku Saawa Emu eddakiika ziri 19 eziiseeko nate katumbulemu katono ddala tufune obubaka tukomewo n'ekitundu eky'ebyemizannyo.
No one feels the motherland like we do. So tune in every day at 6 p.m. and Fridays from 11 p.m. for the best in homegrown music. Only on NTV, the station that celebrates local music talent.
Ideally, we all have the right to express our opinions and views truthfully and openly.
Ate leero tugenda Katongole Mbukasam.
Kampala bwerere mwansomu the bus. The discussion is still going on in the bus.
Tulino kugumira challenges ezimu bwe tuba tulino goba abatembeyi mwami lukwaga agumaga abatembeyi mugende no mbadde ndala kunyonyola omukulu mbadde ndala kunyonyola omwami yagambye nti meya lukwago ye meya omutuufu
gavumenti ekutte lukwago emunyigira mu nsonga takyekyusa.
Welcome back to minibus kyogereko.
Singa omusajja abankwana nga njagala sifa ku kya ssente wabula nfa ku mbeera yeyisa
alimba ono
This is minibus.
Kulikayo nnyo eddakiika ziri 22 eziyise ku ssaawa emu. Mizannyo olwaleero tewannabaawo kalungi kava mu mpaka za Olympics omwaka guno ku sayidi ya Uganda. Abaddusi Moses Kipsiro ne Jane Suto nabo bwe beegasse ku abo batuyanidde obwereere mu mpaka z'omwaka guno. Kati bannayuganda baweze 7 abawandukidde ddala mu mpaka zino.
Essuubi lya Uganda okuwangula omudaali mu mpaka z'Olympics omwaka guno ligenda liggwayo. Omuddusi Moses Kipsuro bw'amalidde mu kifo eky'e10 mu mbiro z'okwetooloola ekisaawe emirundi 25. Embiro zino ziwanguddwa Omungereza Mo Farah, addiriddwa Omumerika Galen Loop. Omuethiopia Tariq Bekele yakutte ekyokusatu, ate Munnayuganda omulala mu mpaka zino Timothy Ayeko awandukiddemu mu kya 15. Enkambi ya Uganda ebadde ekyali mu kiyongobero, ate Jane Suto naye n'amalira mu kifo eky'ekyenda mu abasatu mu mpaka z'abakazi ez'okwetooloola ebyalo. Empaka zino ziwanguddwa Omuethiopia Tiki Galena n'addirirwa Priska Jepto Munnakenya, ate Tatiana Petrova owa Russia n'akwata ekyokusatu.
Mu mizannyo emirala ttiimu ya Kampala ey'abalenzi abali wansi w'emyaka 17 ewangudde empaka za Airtel Rising Stars ez'omwaka guno ezizannyiddwa mu kisaawe kya Kakindu e Jinja. Mu bawala Eastern yewangudde ekikopo oluvannyuma lw'okukuba Kampala.
Airtel Rising Stars, one of Africa's greatest football tournaments, has returned. If you're out there, we'll find you.
Abavubuka ba Kampala bali wansi w'emyaka 17 bawangudde empaka za Airtel Rising Stars z'omwaka guno bwe bawangudde bannaabwe abavudde mu mambuka. Omupiira gusoose kwemagana nga teri ateebye munne era bwe gugenze mu kusumulagana penalty Kampala neteebako ggoolo 3-2. Ate mu mpaka z'abawala Eastern ewangudde Kampala mu kakodyo ak'okusumulagana penalty nayo neewangula ekikopo. Mu mpaka zino era mulondeddwamu abazannyi 16 abagenda okukiikirira eggwanga mu mpaka za Airtel ezigenda okubeera e Kenya omwezi guno.
Airtel Rising Stars, one of Africa's greatest football tournaments, has returned. If you're out there, we'll find you.
Webale nnyo kubeera ku NTV bibadde ebyamizannyo eddakiika ziri 25 eziyise ku ssaawa emu tetugenda kwongerako. Tubatumidde nnyo yina gye musinziira okulaba NTV musobola otufuna ku mukutu 141 ku DSTV oba tulaba obutereevu ku internet www.youtube.com/NTV Uganda. Farida Nakazibwe mbaagaliza weekend nungi mubeere bulungi era mweraba.
This is NTV.
Ideally, we all have the right to express our opinions and views truthfully and openly.
Atelelom tugenda katongole mbukasam.
Kampala bwerere mwansomu the bus. The discussion is still going on in the bus.
Tulina okugumira challenges ezimu bwe tuba tulina okugoba abatembeyi mwami lukwaga agumaga abatembeyi mugende no mbadde ndala kunyonyola omukulu mbadde ndala kunyonyola omwami yagambye nti meya lukwago ye meya omutuufu
government ekuteru kwage munyigira mu nsonda takyekyusa.
Welcome back to Minibuzz Kyogereko.
Singa omusajja abankwana nga njagala sifa ku kya ssente. Wabula nfa ku mbeera ye
alimba ono
This is Minibuzz
Kyogereko.
Now, I'm going to say this with a lot of vanity. If you want a valuable source of information regarding cons, well, it's right here on this show. If you have no idea what we do, basically, we get cons and then reenact them. I'm telling you people, this is Tricksters.
Last week on Tricksters, Richard's dream date went up in smoke.
Hello? Hey.
Kakati Anita ngina soka mtole mserena. Over mtole mwanjenwa. I'm going to give her the What is this? Hatile kunuka chakula.
And how Richard's TV turned into bricks.
I brought a TV from where? From Kampala. Quality. Richard. Richard. TV. You're back. I got me a TV. What's the pictures? TV. I brought a TV from Kampala. What is it? Quality images. From Kampala. TV from Kampala. What is this?
Some kind of a
TV from Kampala.
And tonight on Tricksters, Ramla has teamed up with Edwin to create a nightmare for some poor unsuspecting fellow. Coming up on the show, an act of kindness exerts a price.
Sweetheart,
you husband snatcher.
Sweetheart.
Are you talking about? Watch out! God. You, watch me. Banange, I don't know that man. I don't know him.
And Brenda tries to cut a bargain and loses all.
Okukola kino kikive obulungi. Kakolebwe nti kambalekere sente tusooke ndeete engatto. Okiraba? Kemumpe sente. Okiraba tekikola nnyo.
Ensonga nnungi ntuufu.
Now, some conmen take the conning business as a business venture. You see, they have con managers, con directors, con secretaries, even con shareholders. This is how they play it. The con managers come up with the cons. Then the con directors divert attention, while the con secretaries ensure that everything goes to plan. The con shareholders, well, they simply cash in. Are you confused? Have a look at this next skit. It'll all make sense. As I wonder, when will I ever buy a car like this one?
Tulonda kubanga tekya kuyita katukubu. Buchanga tulonda.
Musajja kyogo kakazi. Kazi mukuula. Kachiba kajikula kwani.
Kajijewa. Here come somebody.
Kapia.
Alike motoka.
Eyo yakava mu bondi eyo.
UAN.
Eyo.
Simezo zezi Benz. Motoka cheche.
Kati ayenza obuuza nze nawe.
It's very nice. It looks new.
Esajja
tekiwoma okukuula ekyo.
Okubba ono okuteekamu emputu ya motoka kizu nabba ku motoka.
Nera sina
Nabano.
Ipu ha. He has put the keys in the right hand pocket.
Have you
seen the keys? Obedda amulaba.
Damu. Olinda ki? Genda. Kiwedera mulandozo kitegedde.
Ntegedde ate munaze kola.
Right hand pocket. Don't try.
Yes, I know.
Tokwata ewalala.
Ando yizo okwerabira n'onyiza mu left. Right.
Yangu wakigire.
Bye. Good luck.
Thank you.
Oh.
I would like to take a Jess, please. Thank you. Thank you, please.
And so, the stage was set for Charles as the hero in this piece and Ramla as the damsel in distress. Edwin is ready to help them along.
Hi, sweetie. Hi, baby.
Excuse me?
Which drink will you take?
Can't you see me drinking?
Hey.
Yeah.
It's a drink.
I'm drinking.
Chichi nawe, may I have my money? You just order for any drink and they give you.
Please.
Huh? Can you give me your number, please? Number.
What? I don't even know who you are. Hey, please.
Huh?
You better shut up.
Number.
You Malaya. Where do you think you're going with my husband? What? Malaya? What are you talking about? Husband? I've been suspecting you for a very long time. And now I've found you. What? Please.
Sweetheart, Sweetheart, tugende.
You think you're going to just snap your fingers like this and just wreck people's homes?
Sweetheart,
you husband snatcher.
Sweetheart.
What are you talking about? Watch out! God, you, watch me. Banange, I don't know that man. I don't know him. In fact, that gentleman is my witness. Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
Is she saying the truth?
Yes, she is. Okay, and in fact, that man just walked onto her table. By the time you came in, she was about to go out.
Really?
Yes.
Sweet. Madam. Oh, we have
I'm very sorry, madam. Madam, I'm very sorry. Can you have this? Oh, my goodness.
Like a true hero, Charles rises to the situation.
No. I'm very, very sorry for what has happened. Okay? Please, take my word. Please, take my word. No.
So, as Charles was busy confronting Ramla through her ordeal, she was busy relieving him of his keys.
Very, very bad. Okay? Cool down. Take your heart. No. Please. No. Oh, my goodness. Take your heart. Take your heart. Please.
Don't shoot me.
Hey, so soon? Excuse me. Excuse me. So soon? Just hold on. Just hold on a bit. No. Just hold on. Just hold on. It's very bad. This is my card. Okay? Just ring me when you need any help, please. Okay? Please.
The next time you try to be helpful, make sure you don't get swept away by the tide.
Where is my car? Where is it? Where is my car? Oh my goodness.
Women. Men can never seem to do without them. Now, usually I have great advice for you. This time I have simple advice. Men, stay away from beautiful women. No, wait. That's bad advice. What can I say? Just be careful.
Now, some people tell you that money makes the world go round. Tell you what, I'm actually beginning to believe so. If you make someone believe that they're going to make a lot of money or a huge saving just like that, I tell you, they're bound to act irrationally.
Everyone loves a treat, and an excellent way to treat yourself is to buy something new. And when it comes to shoes, ladies cannot have enough of them. Red, blue, green, all colors and styles. Ladies will never stop buying. Dennis is inside the shop pretending to buy but actually looking out for a victim. Albert is stationed outside ready to assist him to pull off this con. And Brenda was just shopping for a pair of shoes. Good shoes.
Oh, mukuru.
Kana kabloni kasente meka.
Kano kamitwalo mukaga. Waliyo kali akalunja kali wansi kamitwalo mwenda.
Ngasika kuzanyisa kate.
Sewo. Sewo, nedda siwe ekito. Nsobola kuya. Nsobola kuya.
How can you help me? Tell me.
I work in this shop,
right?
As the shop assistant,
right?
But they don't pay me very well.
Okay.
No, manye embere na kuzino nino kubeerawo. So bagenda mu store. Kuletire ngatte eyo. Mtwale 5.
Are you sure?
Yeah, mtwale 5.
5 bagiti. Ha, ibe yakolira.
Oyineza abakyala.
Yes, nazo jeziri. Olina ko semi. Kali.
Njagala kana ka black.
Ako. Yes, ako. It's American made. It's made in America. Kaliko mitwalo 10.
Mitwalo 10? Sir, my shop is very expensive.
So la kulete mitwalo 3 naye kafa mangu. Kafa mangu nyabo.
Wanange sibwaga kakati you. How much will you get me the one I want?
So ajikule ku mitwalo 5.
Mitwalo 5.
Kakati nze kanku mitwalo 5. Ompenga teyo.
Chuchiko.
Mpenga
kakati katinda kose winda kose. Omanyi si byangu kiri bwekiti. Obulino ziteka mu kiko basa.
Akala bakulabe.
Akitekira. Soko ziteko. Izo ziteko. Nyabo. Olabe ngateyo.
Osuwa kutegeera.
Ngateyo ya mulembe ojja jambala okaddiwe paka welikadwa n'ofadde. Mikwano jjo bajja kusima nti oli nyabo omulembe. Olabe ngateyo ngabe masa.
Koko naye
kama masa. Ka mulembe ako.
Kalungi nnyo nakulwaye.
Unknown to Brenda, Albert is working with Dennis, so when she sees him handing over his cash, she believes it's a genuine deal.
Kati nyabo nawe izizo ziteke mu.
Yecho. Kiwachi.
Nabo gatoko mu bulungi nnyo.
Okanfunira mu size 7.
Size 7.
Yeah, size 7.
Size 7.
Kato mwe? Bulungi nnyo.
Kitegere. Kakati. Oliwe ekirala indako. Nenyinza ogenda eri. Omanyi okukola kino kive obulungi. Kakole bwenti kambalekire sente nsooka ndiite engatto. Okiraba? Kimumpe sente. Okiraba tekikola nyabo.
Nsonga nnungi nnyo tuufu.
Kikola ekyo. Wekwata sente zo zizo. Nyabo. Tokwate zizo. Ngenda mu store nsooka ndiite engatto. Muleke mukole ki? Tekina mutawaana. Kitegeera? Size 7.
Akukena kenyini akukensimye. Oboleta.
Kale. Kanzije mu.
Kale. Wagatuwa no bulungi buzibu. Kabulwa bulungi nnyo. Bulungi da. Nange zibayita lindoza. Ana takade kabika no. I think made in Italy. Bulungi buzibu.
As the waiting grows longer, Brenda feels secure because she believes she still has her money.
Yaruddeyo. Nabaka tukwebati. Akati gwe ngenda mu ndolo mu kyalo ne. Ombuzi zo kwatagada ku musajja ono. Nange nzikire mmange eno gyali jagenze ndabe.
Kale, nakasita sente z'okuzina.
Zituzirina kati tugenda mu kyalo oyo. Nzije.
Never Jebal. Kale Nyabo. Katimina, there's a gentleman I met out there. Angambi against the Kundetiranga Tomusto. A gentleman? Yeah, there is no gentleman working with us here. I don't want to go to us in the Sekogenam store. Omusajja ngambye agenze mu store akundeteranga. Ebambi sente zazitutte. Munanga abafere bangi ku street. Nedda munange sente zange zonziina. Naye ngambye agenze kundeteranga. Sente zonziina. Kye kirungi then. Mama nze. Bannange. Omusajja anzibye. Akubye nange omusajja anzibye. Anzibye ebipapula mwodde emitwalo 5. Omusajja anzibye.
In this con, Brenda lost her money without realizing that it had gone. She saw Dennis with 2 envelopes, one for her and another for Albert. The fact is, Dennis had a 3rd envelope already filled with papers. When Brenda gives him her money, he puts it in the right-hand pocket. When he gives her money back, he gets an envelope of papers from the left-hand pocket. The exchange is very swift, so Brenda does not realize the trick. So, the moment you're window shopping and strangers next to you start discussing prices, it's time to run.
Now, most of us like to look good. I understand. In Uganda, culture and style is everything. But before you lose your money to style, make sure you know something about the shop you're going to buy goods from. And pay attention to your surroundings. Now, trust is a big issue. Some of us have issues trusting our own friends, let alone strangers. But there are those situations whereby you simply have to throw caution to the wind. Now I'm telling you, those are the situations con men are waiting for.
We had on their heels, brother.
Edwin is ready to embark on his next con. Ronald, his victim, is just enjoying his game like everyone else.
I go to Jagugo. Hey, we have to win it. Jagugo. It's a corner. Half past 7. Half past 7. I start Malamba guys to start with. Waitress. Pale ya time what time? Kuja kutumimira. Gogo ya kunyuma. Ataba beka. Ompira gende. Tubone lieni. Oh, you see? I have to call my wife. Omanyiwe ndwayo. Wange yomba ayomba. Abakazi. Batutana. Sorry. Give me a phone call and I load and I call her. You want? It's okay. Okay. Olaba abana abo kucaution I mean kukuwinga awo. Balungi nya. Yo wingi twamala. Twamala okuba Suppose you want to call. Yeah, let me load on your phone. It's okay. Yes. Yes. Yes.
From which country are you? Look at him. I don't know.
49. Hello? Hello, sweetheart. Hello?
The groundwork done, Edwin is ready to make his final move.
You extend. Go to Ulantu and
Billy, no father with you. But no, we was some baby. And what to copa? Need to jump over. But copa, you don't
As for Ronald, the game has not turned out too well after all.
What's he? Oh no, you're married. No, what you make? Kaunga. What's he? Ono gari on man. Umgambe fumoa kwa kunga yusi. You can't see. Wait. Bwana mto. Naziri. They are going to add the senior.
Excuse me. Do you have a phone? Can I borrow your phone? Okay. Thanks. Well, that's it from us here on Tricksters. Don't hold back. Give us your reactions. Tell us what you think. Most importantly, if you've been conned before, tell us about it. Send us an email to tricksters@ntvuganda.co.ug or hit us up on Facebook. And, well, basically, we'll reenact your cons. This has been Tricksters.
The mountain gorilla is considered endangered species, with only about 700 left in the world, and these live within 4 national parks split into 2 regions: Bwindi Impenetrable Forest National Park, Mahinya Gorilla National Park in Uganda, Volcanoes National Park in Rwanda, and Virunga National Park in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The gorilla is the largest of all living primates and has a robust build with long muscular arms, a massive chest, and broad hands and feet. It has longer and darker hair than other species, allowing it to live and travel at high altitudes where temperatures drop to below 0 degrees Celsius. The gorillas can be identified by nose prints unique to each individual. Male mountain gorillas stand up to an average height of 6 feet and weigh from 400 to 500 pounds, that is 227 kilograms, making them the largest of the great apes. Adult males are called silverbacks because they develop a streak of silver hair on their backs with maturity. The silverback is the leader and the ultimate protector of his band. The mountain gorilla is most active between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Most of this time is alternated between foraging, eating, and resting. They are herbivores and consume large amounts of vegetation. Adult males can eat up to 34 kilograms of vegetation a day, while a female can eat as much as 18 kilograms. Females reach breeding age at about 10 years old. They typically bear young every 4 to 5 years, giving birth after a gestation period of 8 to 9 months. The mountain gorilla is generally shy but highly social and lives in relatively stable, cohesive groups of up to 35 individuals. These groups are made up of one silverback, 1 or 2 blackbacks, a few mature female juveniles, and infants. Welcome to this edition of the Art and Design Show. Coming up, couture that touches a life through fashion and design. And we look at a prehistoric art form that was reserved for kings. These and more stories on our show today. On this edition of Visual Arts, we feature Joseph Mugisha, an artist who does portrait sculptures and paintings from a realistic point of view. Portrait sculpture is an extremely old art form dating back to prehistoric times. Portrait sculpture was reserved for kings and queens and other rulers, or in religious architecture. A portrait is an artistic representation of a person in which the face and its expression is predominant. The intent is to display the likeness, personality, and the mood of the person. Whilst pursuing his education, Joseph Mugisha chose to follow his heart's desire and majored in the arts.
I've been an artist since I was a kid, since I was about 6 or 5 years. And I went to art school. I have a degree in industrial and fine arts. I've taught at university for about 4 years, and then after those 4 years I decided to do my own thing.
Although portrait sculpting is a long and tedious process, Joseph believes that the unfolding result is always worth it, and the varying degrees of guidance and inspiration he has received along the way is a testament to this fact.
There's somebody called Auguste Rodin. He's an artist who lived in the 19th century. He's a very good modeler in clay, and he would also cast in bronze. But then today's artist, there is someone called Philip Farouk. I found him on the internet. He's very good with faces, and he's also what you'd call a forensic sculptor. Yeah, he reconstructs faces from skulls. So very good inspiration for me.
A portrait sculpture is three-dimensional, meaning that it has got height, width, and depth. In his initial process of sculpting, Joseph takes his client through a photo shoot session.
I get to take photographs of this subject in 3 dimensions. You have the front, the profile, the 3/4 view, and the top. Sometimes the chin also, the chin angle is taken. And once I have all that information, then I arrange it, and then I do some sketches in pencil to further understand better, acquaint myself with the topography of that person's face. Basically, I would be looking at simple sketches, not portrait, exhibition portrait drawings. So the simple sketches are done, and the shading is done in planes to make sure that I understand how the face is put together. And once that is done, then I now move to the stage of having a ball of clay that is nice and roundly shaped. Shaped to look like an egg, simple oval shape. Once I've done this, now I then move in and create sockets, eye sockets, which are more or less, I move my fingers across and build eye sockets over it, which are similar to a skull, you know. But all this is done with prior measurements of the actual maybe size of the head, or if the actual size of the head does not exist, I have an estimate of what it would be like. Once that is done, I get bits of clay and shape them to create the eyeballs. The eyeball is essentially slightly smaller than a golf ball. So once the eyeballs are put in place, then I place strips of flattened clay over the eyeballs to kind of to create the eyelashes. The lower eyelashes, I place the lower strip first because the upper eyelashes overlap over the lower eyelashes. At this point, I'm not looking for a likeness. At this point, I'm just getting the features in place. So once that is done, then now I can begin to think about trying to get the likeness right. Now, to get the likeness right, I use the profile of the picture. So the profile, understand how the face juts forward, how far the nose juts forward, how wide the lips are, and generally it helps me to get the general shape of the head. And how do I do that? I use a thin strip of clay, build it at the front, right all around the head, and I follow closely the shape of the profile of the photographic information I have, and there we have our strip of clay put in place. Some artists, some sculptors, for the pupils of the eyes, some sculptors create holes to simulate when the shadows are cast over the pupils, they look black. Others do not remove any clay from the pupils, so the eye remains looking blank. At this stage, it's still wet and greenware, but essentially you can see the stage whereby you have the likeness of the individual. You also have all the features in place complete. You have the lifelike look.
But how can a sculpture withstand the harsh climatic conditions?
Terracotta is very durable. It can stay outside for hundreds of years. But then on the terracotta we put what we call a patina. A patina is a protecting chemical on the top to protect it from the elements of weather and also to enhance its beauty. So we place the patina on. We don't varnish terracotta work or sculpture at all. We polish it, and then if we don't polish it, we put a patina. If it's bronze, it can be patinated. If it's brass, it can be patinated and polished.
Where does Joseph think?
5 years from now, I'll probably have a studio of my own. I'll still be doing art. Sculpture for the foundry, sculpture to be cast in bronze, do fountains on commission.
And so for now, Joseph continues to use the elements and principles of art to communicate the specific meanings. Sometimes, it is not enough just to share the world with those exceptional few, but to commemorate our loved ones in stone, clay, or marble is worthwhile. In today's society, cosmetics are the integral part of modern fashion. Cosmetics use can be traced back to a couple of centuries. The first archaeological evidence of cosmetics usage was found in ancient Egypt around 400 BC. In the Western world, the introduction of cosmetics was in the Middle Ages, but it was typically restricted to the upper class. The use of cosmetics is sometimes referred to the layman as making up. But what is makeup? Makeup is a subset of cosmetics which refers primarily to the use of colored products intended to enhance the user's appearance. It is said, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, but it may be more practical to say that beauty actually lies in the hands of the makeup artist. Many a time we have seen individuals magically transformed by a makeup artist. In this part of the show, we meet Hannah Mujeni, a makeup artist who has given up her all to make people look and feel beautiful. Prior to her current profession, Hannah worked for MTN and later went on for further studies in telecommunications abroad. This ordinarily would make one more driven to progress in this sector, but not Hannah. She decided to switch to a completely different profession altogether, and the big question in all our minds is, why?
I still had my job at MTN, so it was at somebody's kwanjula, a friend's kwanjula. So she asked me to come do her makeup, and I thought, well, what an opportunity. Enjoyed it, so I might as well, give it a try.
But how did she gain the experience to do what she does so perfectly?
I went to the major Estee Lauder, major designers for makeup, Estee Lauder, Mark, and I asked to watch why they do what they're doing because I had experience in makeup. I got to learn how they work their makeup, their shades, because then I got to see the other side, the Mzungu side, the skin tone, the different skin types, how it works, and then I started, to work on people. It was really, really nice.
It is no doubt careless application of makeup, selection of the wrong beauty products can damage the skin. What can we learn from the blunders we make?
If you don't use the right bases, you're going to end up getting a bad skin because everything stays in. You're applying something, but you need to take it off again. It makes you look good, but you need to take it off again. So you need to make sure that you have the right bases for it and the right cleansers and toners. You need to know the right skin tone that you're using. You have, pardon me. Most women think that what works for somebody else should work for them. You need to make sure that you check your skin type before you use any product.
There are certain cosmetics that we buy knowingly or unknowingly that contain steroids, mercury, and hydrogen peroxide that bleach the skin. And there are many dangers that surround bleaching.
What it does, it burns off the first layer of the skin. And if it does that, it kills and then brings out the lighter part of your skin, which should be hidden by the first layer of the skin, really. And if you scarred, if you had a wound or anything, you wouldn't be able to heal. So I wouldn't really advise anybody to bleach. There's so many products that are out there, and they say, well, you get a lighter tone, but I wouldn't really advise anybody to do that.
All makeup has got a shelf life, which is a critical measure in maintaining one's look.
Everything should be used within 6 months. If you've had it for longer than that, chuck it away. What happens, it gets infested by bacteria. And that even is wrong for our skin. So 6 months, chuck it out. Trends of makeup. It's what they call smoky eyes, which I have on right about now. Smoky eyes is you can have it in the day, you can have it in the night. It's very nice in the night if you throw some glitter on there. But what it does is it's just a darker eyes around the eyes, and then you bring out a yellow above the eye, and then you line. That's what's called smoky eyes. That's the major trend that is in. I mean, it's very beautiful. Anybody, you can have it in the day, you can have it in the night.
Hannah, like many other young women, is focused on growing and giving her all in enhancing women's looks.
My plans are to make sure that, to open up a place that teaches people how to do makeup, to see that people can come and check their skin types, and I can advise them on what to use for their skin. Skin bases is very important. Before you can apply makeup, you need to have the right skin base, and that I need to be able to do.
Remember not to share eye makeup even with family members to avoid the spread of bacteria. It is imperative that you keep your cosmetics out of the sun and store them in a cool, dry place. Coming up on Art and Design. Africa Timefika is a consortium of East African plus Rwandan, Ethiopian, and Burundian designers whose aim is to showcase their African designs the world over. Clearly, they were not far from realizing their dream because they were recently in Dublin for the Festac Festival 2007, among the many places they're planning to visit. The Festac Festival is an annual event which brings together participants from all over Africa and Ireland to make fashion statements, showcase movies, batiks, foods, photographs, and arts and crafts, which made the festival both ethnic, not to mention colorful.
For the Festac Festival in Dublin, we had 6 designers exhibiting. We had Ali Rahmatullah from Tanzania, Franco Shirima from Tanzania again. Then we had Eli Tumwine from Uganda, Dorothy Lubega D. We had Latif, we had Chewy, plus young Irish designers from Dublin.
There we go, with the designs. We start with Maureen.
The Africa Timefika show at the Serena Hotel under the theme Touch a Life and Change It Through Fashion and Design, which was simply beautiful, with designers from East Africa, together with others from Ethiopia, Burundi, and Rwanda, showcased their newest designs to bring a fusion between both the Western and African designers. We were at Serena Hotel to witness the event meant to expose and market fashion cultures and portray the uniqueness and the norms of both worlds of Western and African designs. Some of the designers exhibiting a strong sense of design using African fabric to make Western styles and trends.
Another design from Marina Keep. If you want ashes, if you want to dress your ashes, Marina's from Marina Keeper, Uganda's own. Very friendly. There she is, Marina Keeper. The lady with the brains behind all the designs you've been seeing.
Ali Rahmo from Tanzania.
Ali Rahmatul, fashion, right now.
Latif, known for his urban street designs.
That is still Latif. Nice overall. From the attire made from palm leaves, yes. Now we have them in another kind of dress, evening wear. Still from Latif. Set of Ethiopian design. For those of you that love the colors, there they are. Pink. The cream looks nice. With those Ethiopian colors. Wow. Here we go. Ethiopian designs from Fenot. Nice evening wear. There it is. That is the man.
Multi-talented Samson, songwriter,
Samson, with designs that take you into an exploration of what one can define as abstract art, fashion, and design.
Wow.
To his name, he has a couple, numerous awards. Samson, thank you very much.
Eli Tumwine, not only known as a general, but for also using cow hides to design African clothes, shoes, and great paintings.
Yes, I told you he's from the West. And now if you see one of the designers with the Nkoni, all those are the designs. See the cows? We have the cows there, the designs of the cows, the lost from. And you see the shoes. Yes, we've had shoes here. Oh, look, the long horned cows of Ankole.
That's it for today's Art and Design show. Remember, anything in any way beautiful derives its beauty from itself and asks nothing beyond itself. Join us next week for another edition of the Art and Design Show. For your comments and advice, please email us on artanddesign@ntvuganda.co.ug. And until then, enjoy the rest of your viewing.
Thank you. Enjoy your evening.
Choweza takusau ya zamani lopitia au idunia
You should think about tomorrow, not only today.
Beauty and unique spirit of his home country, Uganda, Maurice Kiria's music is an uncommon blend of soul, afro and R&B, which he prefers to call Moyo, which means soul. At the age of 15, Maurice started singing professionally and recorded with popular Uganda gospel, rap and jazz artists. Maurice has performed throughout Africa and was the 2007 Best R&B Artist winner of the Pearl of Africa Music Awards in Uganda. He was also nominated at the Kisima Awards in Kenya and has worked with the legendary Mali musician Musa Diallo, Cecile Verni Quartet from Germany, Beniwe from Paris, First Love from Uganda, Pragmo from Uganda, and Kasozi from the UK.
If I ever lose my mind and don't say that I love you, just know that it's true. And if
Kiria has written songs for different jazz musicians, provided background vocals for singer and producer Steve Jean, and recorded the East African anthem with Susanna Wio from Kenya and Pauline Zongo from Tanzania. In 2008, Maurice joined hands with longtime friend and musician Kawesa to stage a concert dubbed Music with Heart that raised funds for children needing open heart surgery at the Children's Charity Ward in the International Hospital, Kampala. Maurice has performed with Jonathan, one of the 10 best live performers in Africa by Sauti za Busara Music Festival. Kiria also runs a monthly show titled The Maurice Kiria Experience that showcases live acts from East Africa and numerous other parts of the world. The show has been credited for boosting the live music scene in Uganda since it exposes established and non-established live musicians and poets on a professional stage. The famous Cecile Verni Quartet has also graced the show. Maurice Kiria believes his music will move people's hearts, encourage people's hearts, strengthen people's hearts, and heal them.
eno tuwaye enkwaniriza nnyo n'okusinga bwe gwali gubadde nze Franco Lisimbi now tolowooza nti wiiki ebadde waki otherwise eno gye tugendamu eyinza n'okuzibuwala okusinga ku eyo gye tuyiseemu mwebale kukola mwebale kutetenkanya okukola kirungi tunyiikirenga okukola teri bintu bijja awatali maanyi obanga tetutaddemu maanyi okujjako ng'onoozannya chanis ate oyo naye takyafuna oteekako ssente nayo ne bakkubirayo kale olwaleero ku bench ninaawe omwami mumumanyi guno gumulundi gunaaba gwakuna ng'ajja wano otutangaaza ku bintu ebimu ayagala nnyo ebyafaayo by'amagye wakwatira awo ekkuba eryo alikwata nnyo bw'atyo naggusa ensonga ze nsanyusa okulaba nati
nange sebo
webale kukkirizanga kujja tukuyita manze bw'wabaayo akakoona mu by'amagye nga musajja ono nja muleeta
mulimu gwange
toli ennaku zino mu bya tuli mu bya Congo balwana Somalia twawulidde bawambyeyo ekitundu ekirala naye nga Congo kati ye issue enkulu tulinayo abasasi baffe buli lunaku batuweereza kipya
kwegamba nganze munabyafaayo w'ebyekijasi n'ebyobufuzi bwe ntunuulira ensonga za Congo Walusimbi n'abatulaba omusango omunene ennyo guli ku UN
United Nations
UN ebadde mu Congo okumala okuva mu 1960 nze bwenja okwogera
tebakuumayo mirembe bakola ki
twegamba ekyo kyekibuuzo ky'olina okwebuuza ebadde mu Congo kakati Congo ebintu ebizibu bijja ne bibeera nga bye bimu apart from ekyamabutu kiri ekyaliwo owulidde okubeera nti naye yalagajjalira ensi ebitundu bino byonna n'abifuula ebitaliiwo kakati the two Kabilas omwana ne taata we ensonga eri eki emu Kabila omukulu banne bano baali bamugamba nti tuyambe buyambi osekiwalinga ekitundu kyo obe ne kontrol nakyo nga ekitundu ekyo ffe abagamba kiba kirina kikituwonya olw'ensonga abalabe baffe bajja ne babeera omwo point enkulu yaliwo ebiseera ebyo yali ya Interahamwe ku saidi ya Rwanda
Kabila wabeererawo
nga bamugamba kino abasajja abo bakole ki kusekiwalinga ekitundu ky'abasajja baveewo baleme kufuulawo playing ground
mu bufunze to flash them out kyalina okukola
Kabila era oli omukulu nekikola ki nekimulema enkomerero n'akyuka bukyusa ate nadda kuki
ku saidi
yaabwe akati kesi ya Rwanda olwaleero Rwanda ne Uganda omu kubo bombi balina concerns waliwo ayina ebyobufuzi owulidde ne wabeerawo n'ayina economy nze sijja kuga nti gundi
security te feature
sorry security n'ebyobufuzi kakati bosi waliwo ayina security ne economy ne wabeerawo n'ayina security purely kakati nze sijja kugamba nti gundi oba gundi ekyo genda okole ki okyenoonyize kakati tosobola kubeera nga gwe bwana Museveni obanga gwe bwana Paul Kagame n'otuula ekigali ng'okimanyi nti nno Interahamwe zirina force ya mutwalo gumu guli mu area eyo bekeja era they are getting ready okujja okunnumba toyinza kubeera nga gwe bwana Museveni e Kampala n'ogamba nti nno kandeebake nga bagambye nti nno aba ADF bali eri n'abalala bonna bali eri bakwekobera tekisoboka ate n'ekirala nga bwoleka ekitundu ekyo esobola okubeera ground ey'abantu abalala ate abakyamu ennyo baterrorist okujja okopalatingiraawo okufuna bye baagala mu mawanga nga Uganda especially
mu bufunze obuvanjuba Eastern Congo threat nene nnyo eri bannayibba bonna n'eri Congo yennyini kakati this Ntaganda ono CNN n'ebirala jukira omusajja gwe bayita Nkunda Laurent Nkunda kyali alleged nti nno Rwanda emusupportinga era nga bw'okiraba mu common knowledge kiyinza okuba ki ekituufu akati Rwanda najja akola commitment n'aga nti abange nti ye oba mugamba ni supportinga Nkunda mulidde n'amukwata n'amuteekawa mu kiziizini okimanyi house arrest kakodyo kakutugomaazi
house era mbuyina in fact yakkiriza ebiseera ebyo na yanyiga n'agamba nsobola n'okubateera nkunda Kagame yakyogera nga mulaba
yamufuula sike yakulu
sobola n'okumubatira kati ne mugani nkunda genda gy'oyagala okulaga meaning nti nkunda genda wegatte kubaki kubano kakati bano gurupu ya nkunda Ntaganda
M23
bano mabega bali bakibiina kiri ekyani ekyankunda Lubanga owulidde
Thomas
Ntaganda Kanolo Sultan Makenga ye group yeyo yonna line egiyo gigoba ngeva muki mu nkunda Rwanda nabe Kagame nabera committed naga nti abange nti nze nkunda mukutte era saagala aberenga yekejera wano now it is your turn Congo okubaako naawe kyokola Kabila nadde Kinsasa ebintu bino nabiginowalinga naleka enterehe mwene zekeja Rwanda funa sense nti abasajja bano gye bakoma okwekejerawo olunaku lumu bajja kujja bakoleki bandye n'agamba nti sijja kukola ki sijja kakati KSN empyezi Bruinzewe eyagundi M23 olwe lunaku lwe basayininga endagaano mu 9 mwe bafuutudde ekibiina kino erinnya Uganda yali eya ICC emwetaaga Ntaganda yakola endagaano n'ayingira mu ki mu magye ga Congo Lubanga nga bamunywedde kakati Ntaganda n'agendayo n'abantu be Ntaganda bw'agenda n'abantu be okay n'abeerawo agenda okutunula gwe njagala weeteke mu picture ya Ntaganda olwaleero ampuliriza oba atulaba agenda okutunula nga Kabila ebigambo bya international community bya ICC ebyokumunywa gwe walusimbi n'atulaba weeteke mu kifaananyi kya Ntaganda okola kingo oyina abasirikale
oba oguguba
obeeraawo bakuliye on top of that Ntaganda gundi government ya Kabila bwe yayingiza abanyamulenge bano munda muli bano group ya Ntaganda yatandika okubayisa mu mbeera eteri nnungi waliwo abasajja be bakwata about Lolenga Satu weralikirira nnyo Lole y'amagye ebeerako abantu 35 naye ate mu ababalaba bw'olaba Lole 10 oga nti batutte emitwalo miyitirivu
bakwata abasajja nga 10
ne bagenda babatta in cold blood owulidde noono yabasenza Kabila ng'akikola bya kulimbalimba kakati ebintu ebyo byonna gwe fuuka Ntaganda nga bakunoonya n'ebyo byonna bihappeninga what do you do ng'olina abantu abali armed we are blaming Ntaganda for nothing okola ki
kati tunenyani
kakati UN okusinga
ogambye ino akakwate
kanene nnyo UN presence yayo the presence esinza okuba ennene awantu owulidde
yandikoze kibana abasajja bangi mukulu kisobo
baluwa
bana abayirwanyisa abagombi eyo
yalikyusizza mandate nga luli ku Lumumba ku Gondi ku Katanga yesazeeko owulidde mandate neteba ya keeping a peace neba combative owulidde ne bajjawo ki abantu abo abentala hamwe owulya sebo ekyo kye UN kyagirema
lwaki etyo kikola kati
esaawa eno
yagala protecting aba civilian yagala kola ki
nga bwetyo bwe yeyingizamu yagala protecting aba civilian naye nadde no lutalo ne EU
mission bwefuuka combat kitegeeza abajja okufa obviously bajja kubeera bangi
anti ensegula mirambo kugitereeza issue yawe erebe ino okubaamu okufa kakati nabadde nina problem ne EU
African Union
naye ennaku 2 emabega batudde Ethiopia ne basalawo okugamba nti tutwaleyo amagye owulidde okutereeza ensonga kugamba nga mbasaba bakole nga bwe bakole Somalia amawanga EU bwe yakole Somalia amawanga bwe gakole Somalia in fact bakikoze
kyogamba Congo is a failed state in as far as Eastern Congo is concerned
butereevu ate era n'amagye gaabwe it is nearly militia
kikosi ky'abalwanyi bali awo
militia you can't have an army organized ne bakunyumiza ne bagamba mbono 600 basaze ne bagera ne mundu zaabwe that's not an army
tebetekera
no agusima je that's a militia
but it is
army kakati nekirala nga tumaliza ku nsonga eyo ate kibiina kino M23 feera abatunulako ewala ku nsonga tukitunulamu nti no waliwo olutawo lujja okujja mu kyo mwennyini
beerwanyise
waliwo ntaganda gwe banoonya ayina following y'abanyamulenge within M23 muno waliwo omusajja bwamuyita Sultani Makenga Kanolo ayina following ey'abakongo bawo mu Kivu mu M23 I tell you Swalusimbi tewali bintu byali bibadde bityo ebitakola idinga abo boolaba Ntaganda ne Makenga tebajja kumala mwaka nga bali bombi bajja okwekuba emmundu
Interahamwe abanyamulenge bogamba what's their reason objective yabwe kiki
ate nabo balina ensonga gwe togirabanga k'ensonga yabwe eviira ddala mabega abantu bano bajja mu Congo emyaka 12 emabega 120 oba 12 12
kumpi ekyasa kiramba ekiyisa
kiramba ne bajja bagukira abantu we bayita awali ensozi ze bayita Mulenge kwe kubatuma abanyamulenge kakati abantu abo they are Congolese citizen
naye
Mobutu founder of the nation w'eggwanga eryo ekintu ekyo yagaana okukitwala nti kyekyo nagani babeereeyo batuuze si batuuze bali awo ebintu byabwe nga ku pepa tebirambulwa bulungi not knowing nti abantu bano bajja kutuuka ekiseera beefunemu abantu abagezi bakole ekyo kye bakola abanyamulenge balina ensonga Congo teyina kubagaana
is there objective yabwe eri entirely kusula government ya Congo bakuuma kifo ekyo nga kiri insecure
akuuma ekisooka balina interest ey'okwagala okufuna ensi awo kubanga bakimanyi nti abakongo babanyuwa era omukongo tayagala munyamulenge omukongo tayagala mutuusi kinampuliriza ayagala awulira atayagala akoleki akireke tayagala mutuusi ne bakiraba bo bennyini nti abange we have to fight for ourselves kati baagala okufuna ekitundu ekyo ekyekivu ate ne wabeerawo n'abantu abalala nze besijja kuga nti gundi abalina interest mu kubeera nti nno eggwanga eryo bwe lifubutukaawo awo ne wakola eggwanga babeera sekiwa nze sijja kuga nti gundi
Kagame bwe bamubuuza president w'e Rwanda nti owagira abantu bano stories otubadde tuzikola mawulire tagamba ye oba nedda agamba bukyanzaalibwa ekifo ekyo tekirimu mirembe era n'olwaleero tegirimu era sirowooza nti ginaaba mu mangu abategeeza
ekyo nga mutuufu naye kwegamba
bakitagamba ye oba nedda
mundaba Enyangungu yayogerako nti nedda sibawagira naye mundaba Enyangungu ng'okiraba nti nno aba ateekwa kubanga amagye ga Rwanda mulimu abatuusi banyamulenge mwebali na bano banyamulenge bagamba kibeera nga bogani omuganda n'omusoga bayinza okukwatagana amangu
ebyokongo biwanvu olwaleero mbadde njagala onyumiza abantu ku byafaayo by'okwefuga kwa Uganda
okwefuga kwa Uganda
njagala otukubire ekifaananyi nga tugguka mu 1962 tunaatera okweza emyaka
kakati okufunira ddala picture ennungi entuufu obutakooya batulaba mu 1945 gwe mwaka ogwatandika okuleeta pre-independence movements
abalwanirizi ab'okwefuga kwa yali Uganda oba Buganda
Uganda kale oba Buganda kakati awo ne wajja movement eno eya 1945 eyaleeta akegugungo ka namba 8
ke kasooka
akasooka public demonstration y'ebyobufuzi n'ebyenfuna okubeera mu street za Kampala era tear gas lwe yasooka okukozesebwa nga bwe tujja okulaba mu maaso
namba 8 namba etegeeza ki
namba 8 bakijja ku 8th Montgomery Army bakaawonawo abaliwo ebiseera ebyo ekibinja ekikosi kye baalimu mu North Africa kakati bangi bemuwadiwo beetaba mu nankani eyo then ne bajja bakituuma namba 8 ng'erina ebigendererwa byayo ng'abaddugavu baagala okwesunsulira pamba abaddugavu baagala rights nga balina ne bebaagala esebo nga balina ne bebaagala okukyusaamuwa eri ku lusozi ewaffe Emmengo Buganda owulidde era nga kabaka ebiseera ebyo bamutwalira ddala basooka ne bamusengejja ne bamulaba ne bagaa nti ono kabaka nga bamumanyi muntu w'abakoloni
alayi
yekkiriza yekkiranya bwekiriranya ali mu bintu byaki byakwagala bazungu akegugungo ne bakalinya
linda ko tugenda kutandikirawo katusooke tuwumulemu tukyagenda maaso ne tuwaye ndi ne mukulu Kisolo. Katugende maaso ogambe bakalinyeko
ne bakalinyako
abangereza
akati abantu abali bawagira abazungu owulidde nga tuzeeko kemabega katono keggungako waliwo abantu abali well established mu colonial line up kwegamba nga abantu abazungu omusajja nga Joy Kiwanuka Kiwanuka ebiseera ebyo yali mwana nga ava akuliziddwa kulubya nga era muntu ali well established mu colonial
baganda ba elite abasooka
otyo kati Kiwanuka najja aweebwa okubeera editor w'olupapula olumu lwe bayita Wikire Matalisi. Wikire Matalisi oyo n'atandika okujerega n'okuvuma abantu bano abalina kozi. Kati namba 8 bwe yabalukawo Kiwanuka oyo baamulumba ne bagenda bamwokera ennyumba ne babitooke ne babitema ne bamuleka nga afudde. Ekyomukisa omulungi
balooza afudde oba bamuleka afudde
balooza nti afudde ne baleeta eddebe ly'amafuta. Wali olabye ku ddebe
nalirabako eripima emmwanyi
take it ng'ekidomola ekyamafuta bafuke ku mulambo bagwoke ne banoonya ekibiriiti ne kibula. Ekibiriiti kyabula ne bakoleeza omuliro bati ne tukoleze ku sigiri tumwoke ne bamulekawo nga mufu ne baga nti kale kasita tukoze ekitumusa. Ekyomukisa omulungi Katonda yali akyamwagala n'alamuka. Kati bw'alamuka abazungu omusasula bamuwa sikaala okugenda okusoma
asoma ekyolo
asoma amawulire yeyongere ebyamawulire n'agenda n'amalayo omwaka 2 n'akomawo. Kiwanuka bw'akomawo kuno Joy yajja akyuse mu ango kagajenyinza okugamba 360 degrees
yakyuka lumu
nadda ku bantu
ebintu n'atandika
okuvuma abazungu n'okugamba nti nno muteeka okugenda. Ensi yonna ne yeewuunya ne gavana yaliwo ebiseera ebyo J-Hall yeewuunya naga nti abange kiki kino Kiwanuka n'afuuka Kiwanuka.
bakontaininga batya namba 8 abakolonial
bajjayo enjala ne tiyagaasi era abantu bakuba tiyagaasi yasooka ne baganda omuzungu atulozi.
Tiyagaasi yaliwo
ye yajja kwolwo
si wa mirembe gyo
si wa Kayihura Kayihura lunenya bwerere omaya abantu tiyagaasi mbadde temumanyi mmwe modole yammwe kubanga ku amini teyaliwo obode tabadde ulibadde bakozesa direct
teyabaawo kuba abantu tebavaayo kwogera bibaluma
nakyo ate nga nabakulembeza abaddewo tebalina budde bwa tiyagaasi onakwatiriramu kati naganika kube tiyagaasi.
So abaali mu namba 8 ne basaasaana
akegugungaako ne kaggwa abantu ne basirika naye nga tebali satisfied.
Kola agamba Kyolo teyakola nkyukakyuka yonna
enkyukakyuka ebiseera ebyo teyazikola mudakiika eyo tezaali immediate. Bamanya nti nno bajja containinga bacontaininze ekintu kitono. Kakati mwana mu 7 musaazi eyakulembera kiri era ddamu apanga olunkuleetera namba 9 atakegunga ka namba 9 ajja wateekawo Uganda Federation Farmers Union nga wona ekibiina ky'abataka bataka pate. Bataka pate eno yatandika mu 1920 ng'ekigitandisa ngaba ya ttaka ya 1900 kubanga bataka bano bakomplaininga nti nno ettaka ligabiddwa aba chiefs abanene abasemberedde abazungu ne baga nti abange endagaano eddibwemu ne babeerawo awo. Kakati musaazi ajja yegatta ne bano
abasunguwala edda
musaazi bwe yegatta ne bano bapanga era olupango olulala Katikkiro yaliwo nsibirwa nga bamwemulugunyamu nabo baga nti yasendasenda kabaka n'amuteeka mu byekizungu yaddira kabaka n'abeera nga negirikitinga ebintu by'abantu. Akati olunaku akegugungo lwe katandika kabaka nga amaze okuwasaawo mu Novemba 9 omwanya yawasa 49 yafuna olugambo nti abange waliyo ekifumbibwa kiki nti baagala kuddamu mbeera yaliwo omwana mu 5 kabaka addira abataka abayita bano abataka pate abaga nti abange saagala muwunge saagala mugende ku musaazi byaliko luli anga bamugamba nti tewali ki tewali tabu mukadde waffe kumbe baamaze dde okulayira era enjogera ezimu zitugamba nti kabaka yateekawo n'akasente akatonotono n'abaga nti abange muwole ng'akaleetedde inifomu egamba nti nange nja kuba memba waki w'abataka kaakati kabaka n'alowooza nti ebintu bikoze ekibiwedde
lwaki akola bw'ati abazungu naye bamusa ku pressure
nti owange waliwo ebifumbibwa intelligence y'abazungu yali ekiraba nti waliwo ebifumbibwa ne bagamba nti owaayo abantu bo nga balabika era bazzeemu ensonga y'emu baako kyokola kwe kuyita bano mu tokisi nti temwegatta ku muyaye ki musaazi ne gurupu ye kaakati tukati short akegugungo bwe kajja olunaku lwe kajja abantu baalumba olubiri ne bagamba twagala Katikkiro aveeko era twagala kulaba na kabaka twagala kulaba kabaka
emengo wali
awo ku gate awo ne babaga nti abaye kiki twagala kulaba kabaka ne babaga nti kabaka temujja mulaba mu fujjo lino mweronde mu abantu mukole ki mujje nti tewali twagala kukola ki kumulaba ne wabeerawo ensindikagana awo waliwo omukadde wange omu yali akola polisi ya Buganda baŋŋamba nti yakuba omusajja essasi maama wange yaŋŋa nti yakuba omusajja essasi awo ku lubiri sijja kumukubuulira linnya mukadde wange oli then
akyali mulamu
akeggungu katandika abantu bwe bali bo bajja kifuna bulala akeggungu katandika akati wabeerawo essasi wano ng'awali UCB
Kampala Road
awo awali UCB leero
kati yafuka Cham Towers
akeggungu kakola ki katandikaako namba 9 ng'abantu bagamba bongedde
kati ate ba namba 9 be bakyolu
in sequence of number 8
kati bano bali mu kibinja kya 9
in sequence of number 8 kwegamba nga bagobereza namba 8 kaakati akeggungu be katandika nga demand ziri nnya nga baddamu ekya pamp twagala kususula pamp affe twagala kola free market twagala ba middlemen nga kabaka bamuwa condition ndala enene demand zalinnya twagala menga achuke twagala cabinet join ekoleki
echuke
eyibwe egwemba stooge owulidde twagala olukiiko abantu nkaga momenda le bagamba olukiiko lw'emmengo bajjule omwayi baali baganya okulujjuza n'ekirala kyalinga kimu ndoze ebyo byali ebikulu
abazungu baali bamanyimbu n'okuteekayo emiwendo nga balinga abagiwaliriza ku bantu eja pamba tosukka wano ate tokka wansi price limit
webale nnyo kaakati akegugungu nga kakola ki nga bakalinnya mu kukalinnya okumaliza okukalinnya musaazi ne gurupu ye bayingidde mu mbalooni
yeriwe
nakasiramu blood bank ewali ekkomera le bayita ngomeni
blood bank wenyini awo banunule yani
babasibye babakutte waliwo omukadde waffe Sparta eyaleeta eddiini eno ey'abasodoksi eyawaggulu eyo mumulabira nankyama waliwo Sparta enamuŋoona Sparta yasookawo naye bamukuba munda
kiki ate munaddiini
kwebyo
yabibaddemu
owulira kaakati nga Buganda ebeera ku tensioni owulira sebo Buganda bwebeera ku tensioni kati waliwo Abaganda abataali Mmengo abayivu owulidde nga basambira mabega ku kino baga ndi Mmengo oyo awanyisibwemu kabakagire bwati ebintu
olwojolejo waali
ennyo n'amaanyi
avuma abazungu kamala
ennyo n'amaanyi kubanga yali akomyewo kaakati Abaganda bano abaali frustrated abayivu owulidde bagenda okutunula nga ebigendererwa bya namba 9 tebikyusiza lukiiko tewali demands zikoleddwako ne bagamba nti ate kino ekintu tuteeka okusala amagezi tutegeerwe tuteeka okusala amagezi amalwe they contemplated Uganda abayi tukole national wide movement UNC ejja
Uganda National Congress
musaazi n'abayivu bali owulidde batuula baga nti abange tukooye tukooye ebintu bino nga bayiyawo nga bateekawo UNC we bagiteekawo ng'ejebeeramu abaganda abo abaali frustrated oba abaali bakyagala kino ekyokutakula Mmengo oli akole ki awanyisibwe ne demand season.
Ssekabaka teyanyega ku bataka bano kubajjukira yali abayise.
Abantu bali surprised nnyo ne Kabaka yali surprised nnyo okulaba nti ate bana abantu be yali amaze okutuuza
ate
benyigira mu kintu kino kakati nga batuula wansi nga bafumba ekintu kyabwe olutuyingidde kale 50s bwe bafumba ekintu kyabwe nga baga nti ate tuve ebuziizi tudde mu luguudo
okwekalakasa tukuwe face
kumulwe January lumu Kawenkene Cohen yajja omwekinya Kawenkene lyavaawo
ku governor oyo
ayingira mu Uganda Kawenkene muntu
abantu nga bamusanyukira nnyo mu ntandikwa
alisaka kanja naye ate najjanyigirwa enkomerero jjajjiwulira kakati ajja bwatuuka kuno ng'aga nti nze nzize kunyigira abantu mu byabufuzi kola ki kukyusa mu bintu
abantu ne bakuba engalo
kati bwe bakuba engalo UNC mu April wa 1952 bavugamba nti abayi tuve ebweru Babu Mayanja abo Bamungoma Bachiwanuka Jole Bamagezi Kaswafu Bangol mukadde wange Alimadi in fact ateyalimu ogundi Adimola in fact yafudde okufa is one of the people benyizo kubalanga abansomesa mukadde wange oyo natulanga naye nnyo yambulira ebigambo bingi nnyo era ndi mukuluma kwa maanyi nnyo Adimola the lion of Acholi kakati nga baga nti tufulume wabweru nga bateekateeka olukungaana ku muti ogw'eddemba ku paaka emmoloka wezifulumira
nga waliwo nnyo ebikulu ku muti ogwo
waaliwo n'oluzzi erudda ku muti ogwo nga bayita abantu nga balangirira nti ekiyitibwa UNC kitandise Uganda National Congress kati olwo Dr. Obote Abakali Kakyama Mayanja bamaze okubagoba mu university bwe babagoba mu university Obote agamba nti obulamu kangene mbuyiize Kenya akwata akakooti ke mayi alina olukooti lwe n'akataayi ke ng'akwata ng'alinnya baasi ng'agende Kenya ng'abeera ne Bakinyata Bangeyi Walter Dede baani kakati nga afuna experience mbyobufuzi Obote ekintu ekyo kyamuyamba nnyo okudda okuzanyira ku baana nga betujja okulaba yajja awe usadde 57 amalayo emyaka 5 era awo nawo tujja kulabawo
gondi okuvuganya kwa DPO kutandikira ne UPC
Abakali Mayanja asigala kuno owulidde nga bonoga nti gundi bamugobya ali ku street ekintu bwe kyaka ekya UNC yali waawo ku muti gw'eddembe y'omukuba founder nga jagwa mu bintu ng'ali ogufa ogusava Secretary General owa UNC
katukomewo otandikira awo tukyagenda maaso ne tuwaye ndi ne mukulu Kisolo katugende maaso mukulu Kisolo
sebo
Abu Mayanja alidde ekifa
alidde ogufo
General Secretary
UNC langiridde nti UNC Uganda National Congress eteereddwawo ng'ekigendererwa ekikulu kusaba bwetwaze independence now mu Uganda yonna mama nga ngamba ebiseera ebyo yali mu kibuga muno nga bakawugala balimu yagenda ku olukungaana bwe luggwa abantu kye baakola olw'okuba twagala kwefuga bayingira basi za UTC ne batandika oggikubakuba n'amaduuka g'abayindi ogalyamu kye bagakola ki
kwekalakaasa
kye bagalyamu olw'eggulo oggulaawo owulidde muzungu era najjayo tiya gaasi
babakubye
sebo ne badda eka olukungaana luggwa ssaawa nga ngamba 11 n'ekitundu
kiri tebakivaako kye bakkaanyiza
kati UNC nejja ekwata omuliro owulidde ne bagamba nti kwefuga kati UNC batandika okutalaaga ebitundu bya Uganda.
Abantu bano before mukulu kisolo bali tebekutuddemu mpulira. Waliwo abantu abaali balowoleza mu autonomy ya Buganda nga independence gye balowoozaako. Ate abala baali balowooza Uganda as a whole ng'omuzungu bwe yali
nga tebali mu UNC.
Kinyonyola ekyo?
Abo okwekutulamu okwo kweyogera kuli maaso.
Buganda oba Uganda yonna.
Kukuli maaso. Tekunaba kutuuka naye wano.
Otherwise kati independence.
Group ene yaba intellectuals ba nationalists. Those were great nationalists. Abasajja abo owulidde ne bagamba nti Uganda twagala kwefuga nga bavudde mu politics ono wa Mengo na biki owulya ssebo wa Kabaka ne batandika okutalaaga UNC nefuuka UNC ne baggulawo amatabi ne batandika okutalaaga Uganda yonna naye omukoloni n'abagamba nti
This is NTV.
A very good evening to you and a warm welcome to Sunday's NTV Weekend Edition, this 5th day of August 2012. Tonight, as the fight against Ebola continues, what can we all do to help stop the spread of the deadly virus? Be sure to have your say in our NTV Weekend poll. And all the latest from the ongoing London 2012 Olympics, as Team Uganda has been in action in both the women's marathon today and the men's 10,000 meters final last night. All the results coming your way in NTV Weekend Sport later on in tonight's newscast. But first, the headlines. Two more suspected Ebola cases are admitted at Kagadi Hospital in Chibale district as the fight to contain Ebola continues. In tonight's Health Focus, join me Florence Nalimba as I tell you of how parent support groups are helping mothers in Kitgum dream of breastfeeding. On this week's political feature, I'm also told to bring a story on why political analysts think that the formation of the new political party by some NRM members may cause an impact on the NRM.
And join me, Alfred Odong, later on in this bulletin for the latest in baseball, where Chambogo Buffaloes beat Victoria Rovers Lugazi to claim this year's league title.
Thank you for watching NTV. Welcome to NTV Weekend Edition. I am Josephine Karunji. Tonight, NTV has learned that two more suspected Ebola cases were yesterday admitted at Kagadi Hospital in Chibale district. The two patients are currently under close monitoring at the isolation facility, according to the Ministry of Health. It has also been confirmed that 24 of those that had been suspected to be suffering from the virus have tested negative and are now waiting to be discharged. The figures come just over a week since the Ebola virus was officially confirmed in Uganda, and over the last month, 17 lives have been lost, with the most recent fatality reported just 2 days ago. Solomon Seranja has our top story tonight.
The latest report on the Ebola outbreak has revealed that out of the 36 people being kept in the isolation facility at Kagadi Hospital, suspected to have been in contact with Ebola victims, 24 have been confirmed negative and are await being discharged. 2 suspected cases were yesterday admitted and are under close surveillance. Out of the 353 people that are lined up for examination, 295 have not shown any symptoms of the disease. No new deaths have so far been reported, while those that have been confirmed to have the virus still remains at 2. The Ministry of Health has also confirmed that a new state-of-the-art facility has been set up at Kagadi Hospital to contain the virus.
We have 24 cases that have tested negative. These 24 cases are among the 36 cases that are admitted. However, we have not yet discharged them. We are waiting for advice on whether we should discharge them or not. But even if we discharge them, we shall continue monitoring them to see how they are progressing. We have set up a new isolation facility that has been constructed by MSF. This facility is up to standard and recommended by the WHO standard, and it's the one that is accommodating the suspected cases.
Yesterday, a team of experts headed by Minister for Health Christine Ondoa visited the hospital to assess the situation. Ondoa is optimistic that the outbreak will be contained soon.
Independence gifts we will give to Uganda is that by the time we celebrate our independence, we will be free of Ebola. We will be happy, we will be calm, we will be free to celebrate it everywhere in the country.
Other members of the team included psychiatrists from Butabika and Mulago Hospital, who will be counseling those at the facility. The World Health Organization is also calling for more support from the international community in order for Uganda to effectively manage the outbreak.
This is not a job we just leave to Uganda Ministry of Health. So my presence here is also to appeal all other development partners to assist as soon as possible, because the task is very, very heavy. It's challenging for the few people. We need to mobilize more people. We need to invest much more resources.
Solomon Serwanja, NTV Weekend Edition.
Meanwhile, church leaders are undertaking precautionary measures as the Ebola virus threat takes its toll on the country. Today at Rubaga Cathedral, Father Achilles Mayanja told the congregation to avoid irregular norms and rituals such as shaking hands as a preventive measure against Ebola. At the All Saints Church, Reverend Canon Hannington Mutebi is creating awareness against the killer virus.
It is customary to shake hands in the Catholic Church as a peace offering towards the end of every service. However, it was a different story today due to the emerging Ebola epidemic. Father Achilles Mayanja of Rubaga Cathedral told the congregation that Ebola is an imminent threat, that one should be extra cautious. Father Mayanja emphasized the fact that one can afford to offer a heartfelt peace offering without having to shake hands with a counterpart as a measure to guard against the Ebola virus.
We as religious leaders, we have also the responsibility to inform our people of what is happening here. So they have to take precautions like avoiding shaking hands.
Outside the church, business was going on as usual, with the vendors selling items to some of the people who had gathered. Although Rubaga Cathedral has a unit for checking high blood pressure as a stroke awareness routine, Ebola is still a threat. At All Saints Church in Nakasero, Reverend Canon Hannington Mutebi told us how churches are working hand in hand with health experts in order to create awareness, sensitize the members of the public about the dangers associated with contracting the disease.
We are working hand in hand with AR, and they have produced a paper to help us distribute among the parishioners to be aware of Ebola. If we stand and talk about it, I think it creates awareness, and even as they go out, they also talk about it in the community.
Some of the worshippers brought up the point of how church isn't taking any practical measures on Ebola apart from sensitization and prayer.
We as a church, we have not put possible measures, but we are praying about it.
Suhail Mugabi, NTV Weekend Edition.
Some churches have adopted new measures to curb the spread of the Ebola virus, like avoiding the shake of hands as a peace offering to avoid body-to-body contact, which increases the spread of the killer disease. Now, it is on that issue that we engage you tonight in our NTV Weekend poll, and tonight we are asking, what measures should the public take to curb the spread of Ebola? I repeat, what measures should the public take to curb the spread of Ebola? To have your say, text 8778 followed by your name and where you are texting from. We shall be reading some of your views during tonight's newscast. Moving on, security in Kasese has been beefed up ahead of the District Woman MP by-election on Wednesday. Officials in the district say the increase in security should help ensure a free and fair election without any incidents of violence. Meanwhile, opposition FTC leaders are appealing to the international community to take part in the observation of the Kasese by-elections.
Hundreds of men and women in the police force have been deployed in Kasese ahead of the District Woman parliamentary by-election slated for this week on Wednesday. The Western Regional Police Commander Wilson Kwanya says the presence of many police officers in the area is not meant to intimidate people, but to ensure that peace and order is maintained throughout the election process.
It is for the purpose of securing everybody around during this period. I mean, it is before, during, and after, because this is not about by-elections only. This place has very many multiple problems. There are land issues, local conflicts, and the politics. So that one requires enough security around.
As campaigns go on, President Museveni is expected in the region to canvass support for NRM candidate, while Dr. Kiza Besigye is also in the region to garner support for FDC candidate Winfred Kiza. However, members of the opposition have expressed disappointment over the warning by Chairman Electoral Commission Badru Kigundu to arrest opposition politicians planning to rush to Kasese ahead of August 8th poll to protect their interests in the elections. Opposition leaders led by Christopher Chibazanga, the former MP Busongola South, say that such a statement is unfair and makes opposition suspect that state agents are bent to make that election exercise full of illegalities.
The role of government is to create a conducive environment for their citizens to exercise their democratic rights. But in this election, the reverse is true.
The Constitution of Uganda is very clear that freedom of movement. It does not say except during elections. So we cannot invent laws. The duty of police is to enforce the law, not to make laws. The claims which are being aired out by the opposition member is false, because the police was brought here to give security to all of them as they are campaigning.
In another development, Baluku Emi, an NRM ardent supporter, survived lynching after he was roughed up at AFDC campaign rally held at Kirembe in Kasese municipality. Baluku was accused of allegedly trying to influence the youth not to listen to the FDC candidate Winfred Kiza.
President Yoweri Museveni has called upon the police to practice social discipline as one of the core values as they go on about their work to deal with the unnecessary crimes in the country. The president specifically pointed out the need to investigate radio stations which spread information that incites opportunists who disrupt peace. The comments came during the pass-out ceremony of 538 police officers in Masindi. Craig Kadore reports.
These police officers are some of the 538 officers that were passed out today at Masindi Police Academy. The police officers put up a good display of different physical and martial acts that they were taught during the course. But the president who officiated at the pass-out ceremony credited the police for handling the riot victims in the past quite well. He, however, asked them to follow through with the cases to the sources of the violence. At the same function, the president asked the police to not only care for their careers, but to also focus on their welfare and start saving money so that they live comfortable lives. The police chief Kale Kaihura, who encouraged the police officers to keep physically fit and pay attention to community policing as it's the modern way of policing the community, pointed out that there is a lack of enough funds and training to streamline the police force. 538 police officers were passed out, with 143 women being part of the population. However, 5 officers did not graduate after they were discontinued for indiscipline. Krikadoda, NTV, Weekend Edition.
Thank you, Craig. Well, it's time for a short break, but just before we do, here's a look at what's coming up. In this week's political feature, we examine the possibility of some NRM members forming a new political party. And in the London 2012 Olympics, Moses Kipsiro stumbles in the men's 10,000 meters final, finishing in 10th position. NTV Weekend Edition continues after this short break. Stay with us.
Ideally, we all have the right to express our opinions and views truthfully and openly.
Atelelom tugenda katongole mbukasam.
Kampala bwerere mwasomo the bus. The discussion is still going on in the bus.
Tulino kugumira challenges ezimu gwe tuba tulino goba abatembeyi mwami lukwaga agumaga abatembeyi mugende never no mbadde ndala kunyonyola omukulu kati tuulirize mwami oludde ku kira mbadde ndala kunyonyola omwami yagambye nti meya lukwago ye meya omutuufu
gavumenti ekutte lukwago emunyigira mu nsonga takyekyusa.
Welcome back to minibus kyogereko
singa omusajja abankwana nga njagala sifa ku kya ssente wabula nfa ku mbeera yeeyisa
alimba ono
This is minibus.
Welcome back to NTV Weekend Edition. A reminder that in this evening's NTV Weekend poll, we are asking, what measures should the public take to curb the spread of Ebola? To have your say, text 8778 followed by your name and where you are texting from. Some of the responses that have come in so far, we start with Patience Joy, who says people from affected areas should not be traveling from one place to another, and every health worker should wear gadgets when attending to any patient. Victoria Tukunda says the public should avoid crowded places because you can never tell who has it since it is contagious. Mark Tusubire says the government should sensitize the public more about the Ebola spread and prevention through the media. And finally, Martin Magumba says personal hygiene and discipline are some of the ways to go. Well, thank you so much for those responses. We will take a look at some more towards the tail end of tonight's newscast. Moving on, according to the 2011 Uganda Health Demographic Survey, poor nutrition puts children under 5 at an increased risk of catching many diseases, poor brain development and even death. And up to the age of 2, such nutrition is given a huge boost through breastfeeding and balancing their feed. In tonight's Health Focus, we visit a community intervention where village health team members advise parents who never make it for antenatal services in health centers by teaching them how to care for their infants and young children to contribute in the ongoing fight against malnutrition.
Gurgling with glee is this 1-year-old almost suffocating her mother with excitement. Well, you can see that there is indeed a strong connection between the two, which was not there just a few minutes back. Her mother was shushing her up, but all the baby wanted was the breast, and unless she suckled to her fill, the mother was to be her enemy. Now, thanks to the power of breast milk, she can actively play with content. Yes, breastfeeding has this advantage and many more.
According to the World Health Organization and UNICEF, breastfeeding is the best nourishment that any child can receive while growing up. Now, here in Kitgum district in Muchweni sub-county, the World Vision has helped a group of men and women form parent support groups to remind themselves of this fact.
We know that our health system is stretched, it's overstretched. You'll find one midwife is doing everything at the health center. And you know, counseling on breastfeeding, for example, it's a process. The challenges with nipples and etc., she will not have time to cover them. So all this happens at the parent support group.
In each parent support group, there are 12 households, of which 2 are for pioneer mothers with children above 2 years to coach others. The rest are pregnant or lactating mothers, meeting at least once a month. In Muchweni sub-county, there are 25 such groups.
They are supposed to encourage each other on issues of breastfeeding, on issues of nutrition, and on issues of healthcare practices. And the VHT is like their boss because he has all the technicalities that are...
According to the 2011 preliminary results from the Uganda Demographic Health Survey, 33%, that is 1 in every 3 of Uganda's children under 5 years of age are stunted. A slight improvement from 38% back in 2006. But this growth retardation can be prevented in the first 2 years of the child's life by ensuring that the children's nutrition needs are well met, and what better way than to give them breast milk, especially in the first hour of birth. And before 6 months, babies have to be exclusively breastfed. But according to WHO, in reality across the world, only 4 out of every 10 infants get all this nutritiously rich milk. After the age of 6 months, complementary foods can then be introduced alongside breastfeeding. The months from 6 to 9 normally necessitate giving the children thick porridge.
You cannot boast that you are giving porridge to your child if you are using a bottle, for example, because the porridge that goes in the bottle is thin.
Irene Arif has gained from the support groups, and today her home in Panyumbi has chaired the meeting.
We have a model called PDHAS, getting these children and getting to teach the mothers the foods they are supposed, the foods, locally available foods that they can cook to these children.
To boost all this, the East African Maternal Newborn and Health Project, a 5-year project in Kitgum under World Vision, together with the district health officials, are determined to raise the community's awareness of the benefits of breastfeeding.
We shall line up by formally launching the baby-friendly health facility in Kitgum District Hospital. It's just about setting a conducive environment, providing all the amenities.
Fathers have, however, been looked at as an impending factor.
As far as health is concerned here in Acholi, it's not a father's issue.
Now they have also been encouraged to attend the sessions because they are the providers of the meals. Rewards to persuade them have been put in place, like the internationally recognized golden breastfeeding balls. For the parent support groups in Kitgum, they've formed revolving funds.
We've come up with what we call kitchen gardens, which keep the vegetables going, but also we are giving the parent support group members rabbits and chicken.
This keeps them attending and pushes them to remind their women to breastfeed and balance their children's meals. WHO advises adequate breastfeeding and support for mothers and families so as to save many young lives. This is something the East Africa Maternal Newborn and Child Health Project has embarked on in Kitgum District for the next 4 years with the hope of covering all the sub-counties. Florence Nalimba, NTV.
The National Resistance Movement is still the political party that has ruled this country longer than any other political party since independence. Of recent, the party has been facing hurdles from within its members, a move that is likely to lead to the defection of its members to other political parties. Now it is emerging that some of the NRM members are in the process of forming a new political party with the argument that the NRM has failed to deliver in a number of areas. Political pundits argue that the formation of new political parties would not be the answer, as Maurice Ochol explains.
Having ruled the country for over 26 years, the NRM party could have its highs and lows, but one major challenge for the ruling NRM party has been the defection of its members. This time round, the coming in of a new political party, spearheaded by some legislators in the party, seems to be a blow to the NRM. Kampala's Central MP Muhammad Nsereko has openly come out on this issue. His argument is that the party is failing to deliver to masses and in terms of fighting graft. Although some are hesitant to come out in the open, many legislators from the NRM party are joining this move. But political analysts argue that this was bound to happen, looking at the performance of the NRM as one of the long-serving parties.
NRM is failing to deliver on social services. NRM is basically, especially on the issue of corruption, it can't seem to punish those that are involved in corruption. there is need for them either to quit or NRM has to carry out some reforms.
However, the big question would it be the right thing to form a political party in order to answer some of the grievances in the country?
But if you balance that, believe them, then you would say that people like Nseko belong to the progressive young politicians who actually want to deliver to the people. And if the party that they are in is not serving those aspirations, then it is okay to get out and form a political party that adds up to your aspirations. If you can't change, if you can't cause change within, then you get out and aspire or go to a vehicle that meets your aspirations.
Another question would be whether there is public acceptance for this new political party or whether the country is ready for it. Last week, President Saawa Emu is quoted to have told the brainchild behind a new plan, Mohamed Nsereko, to quit if he wishes so. But lawmakers think there should be a dialogue to pave a way forward.
As NRM, for us to sit down and know our weaknesses so that we know we can solve some of these problems. I think it's not too late. If there's goodwill, if there's will, I know these are dedicated members of NRM, and if they're trying to leave the party, there must be a reason why they're trying to do it. And we should sit with them. We should discuss with them. We should bring them on board. We should engage them.
Because here you're looking at having numbers as a political party, as also the chairman of the party. I think it was also maybe important to see how we can come together and solve some of these problems.
This will not be the first time that the NRM will be losing members. Some of the strong FDC members were at one point loyal to the NRM and also participated in the formation of the ruling party. Political pundits argue that for now, the country needs to concentrate more on service delivery instead of disgruntled politicians.
I think each party member has a role to play. I mean, it's not good to keep saying if they want, let them go away. It doesn't really work. The solution is always to talk and solve problems that are within the party.
Meanwhile, another set blow that probably has caused this weight loss to the NRM party is the way the NRM has been losing in the recent elections. Of the 6, 5 have been won by the opposition.
In the last elections, we have lost, I think, 5 out of 6, and which is not good. The next elections, from what we hear, we may not be smiling at the end of the day. But to me, as I said earlier on, this is a time for us to pick ourselves together and see where we're going wrong. And to be really honest, we have to be honest. There's a problem. You can't, a ruling party, you can't be losing election after election.
As to whether the formation of this political party will cause an impact will be another question. For now, FDC is one of the parties that are stood to prove that they're worth strength against the ruling party. Maurice Ochol, NTV.
Thank you, Maurice. To join us for discussion in the studio tonight, we have Honorable Mary Karoro Kurut, who is the National Guidance and Information Minister and also a spokesperson for the NRM party. Thank you for joining us, Honorable.
Thank you very much.
Well, to start us off, there seems to be general thought that there are so many hurdles within the NRM party. What is happening? What is all the bickering about?
There are hurdles in life. And, people do not face reality. A party like NRM, which is a mass party, it enjoys the confidence of the majority of Ugandans. We have got out of the LC 5 chairpersons, 112, NRM has got 83. And when we look at the councillors, we have the majority, more than, I think, 73%, and the LC 3 chairpersons are more than 77. So for anybody to expect such a mass party not to have challenges would be out of the blue. But what is important, does this mass party have the mechanism to resolve these challenges and to bring them on board? Well, and we do have the mechanism.
I will be getting to that, asking about how to deal with it. But from Maurice's story, we just saw that some legislators are thinking of forming another party.
The party, NRM doesn't know about that. We are not aware. It's the media which is talking. None of the members of NRM have come up to say that they are forming the party. They have not informed NRM officially. So as far as we are concerned, that's a mere rumor.
Well, by the time it gets into the media, surely there must be something to it, even if it is just a rumor.
For us, we do not go by rumors, Josephine. We want something official. So if they come up and they say we are quitting NRM and we are forming our own party, then we can get up and say there is this situation. But as of now, we are not aware.
Well, there are claims that the NRM has failed in terms of service delivery. What do you make of that?
No, of course, NRM has not failed. You know how it's just 1 year since the election, 1 year and some months. And the NRM manifesto is on service delivery. Now, service delivery cannot be just within 1 year. It is an ongoing process. We do agree that we have got challenges in some of the policy issues. And we are looking at that. For instance, the pledges. When pledges are made, it doesn't mean that they are going to be worked on today.
It takes time to effect
them. It takes time. Look at how God created the world. One day at a time. He created today this, looked back and said, no, this is good. This is how we move. But when there are pledges, then people expect results tomorrow. It's not possible. We are living on earth, not in heaven.
But what kind of tomorrow are we talking about? Because the NRM has been in power the longest.
Yeah, but Josephine, we are saying, NRM was given the mandate, the legitimacy for the next 5 years. We have done 1 year. Let's wait. At the end of 5 years, people should get out the manifesto and begin ticking. Has NRM delivered on this? Yes or no? And then we look at the ticks and we look at the crosses. But 1 year, and then people start saying, no, there's no service delivery. That's not fair and it's not realistic.
In the eyes of the public, there is the realization that there are errant members in the NRM. How does the NRM deal with them? How are you going to deal with them?
If they are errant members, there are mechanisms within the party which deal with those errant members. We have dialogue, but like the chairman of the party, who is the president, also said, if some of them want to go, they can go. They are not in the party by conscription. It's free will.
Choice.
It's your choice. Of course, we would want to retain every member of the party. And I want to stress this. It's like in the biblical times, this shepherd who had 100 sheep and one of them lost one. And he went after that one. But if any of the members say no, we don't want, well, they are free to go. It's democracy. But I can assure you, we would want to retain them. But we are happy as a party that we have been getting many more people from the opposition. Everybody knows about them. They come into NRM. We don't want to lose a single member. But as I said, if they feel they want to go,
it is choice. And finally, Honorable, what do you make of NRM losing quite a bit in the by-elections?
By-elections, yes, that is true, but there are reasons why we have been losing some of the by-elections. There are issues, for instance, which date back to the NRM primaries, people who were disgruntled, and the pledges and so on. But this does not in any way mean that the party is weak. As I've said, we enjoy the majority in Parliament. We have the majority in the LC 5 chairpersons, councillors, more than 70% in all of these. And you cannot turn the clock. Nobody should deceive any Ugandan within this short time. If anything, and I don't want to disclose this, but you will be seeing it, we shall get many more people coming to NRM than those who will be getting out.
Well, as they
because they know that NRM delivers. They know that NRM is the party to be in.
Well, as they say, time will tell, and we'll definitely see all of that happen. Thank you, Honorable, for taking the time to join us.
Thank you.
Let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
Fieldwork has been defined by different scholars. Some think it is an art.
These are the blood types that are in human beings. We have A.
When a chemical reaction takes place, it involves two things.
We are given a straight line that has been denoted by 2x minus y is equal to 6.
Chichi, what's life? Is life ugly?
Is it spiritual?
Isn't it loved?
And above all, isn't life really drama?
Find out what life is and what it can be every Thursday at 11 p.m. with repeats on Friday and Sunday at 12:30 p.m.
Life, Chichi.
What's life?
Is life?
No one feels the motherland like we do. So tune in every day at 6 p.m. and Fridays from 11 p.m. for the best in homegrown music. Only on NTV.
Welcome to NTV Weekend Sport. Uganda's hopes of winning a medal at the London 2012 Olympic Games continued to diminish when the country medal hopeful Moses Kipsiro came 10th in the men's 10,000 meters. Timothy Ayeko and James Suto are the other Ugandan athletes who sweat earned the country nothing.
Moses Kipsiro's 10th position in the 10,000 meters at this year's Olympic Games leaves Team Uganda in London with less than 7 chances to win any medal in the Games. Kipsiro won a gold medal in the race during the last Commonwealth Games in India, a feat many Ugandans thought he would repeat. Though the athlete still has the 5,000 meters medals to compete for, the opportunity leaves Team Uganda with slim chances of winning any medal. Timothy Ayeko came 15th in the race won by Britain's Mo Farah. James Suto is the latest Ugandan to fall out of the competition without a medal after coming 93rd out of 107 in the ladies' marathon this afternoon. The Ugandan ranked 93rd in the world posted a time of 2 hours 44 minutes and 46 seconds, 21 minutes behind Ethiopia's Tiki Gerena, who won the marathon. Kenya's Priska Jepto and Russia's Tatiana Petrova took silver and bronze respectively.
Tornado registered a win against Gayaza High in the National Women's 2020 Cricket Championship game played at Lugogo Oval. The event is aimed at providing the ladies with more competitions as they prepare for international engagements, as Alfred Odom reports.
Tornado have maintained their good run in the Women's 2020 Cricket Championship with a win over Gayaza at Lugogo Oval. In the first innings, Gayaza registered a decimal 57 for the loss of 8 wickets in 20 overs. Regis Tusime, Marcela Kisa and Irene Katusime top scoring with 9, 8 and 4 runs each. Tornado did not find difficulty in chasing the set target, Franklin Najumba inspiring the side to 58 for the loss of 3 to win. The competition was initiated to enable women have as many championships to better their skills before being considered for national team selection. Uganda Cricket Association is looking to entering the ladies' side for several international events this season. Alfred Odong, NTV Sport.
Kampala region has won the boys under-17 Airtel Rising Stars Soccer Tournament in the final hosted at the Kachindu grounds in Jinja Town. The girls' tournament was won by Eastern Region, who beat Kampala.
Kampala Kampala region are this year's Airtel Rising Stars Under-17 champions after beating their counterparts of Eastern region in the final. Normal time ended in a barren draw before Kampala converted 3 spot kicks against 2 for the Eastern region. Although they did not win any trophies, many participants walked out of the tournament with lessons learned.
It's all about putting in your heart. If you just put your heart, you can do it. That's what I also, that's what I thought ahead and said, no, I can do it. And what I urge you guys out is only to do it, so to put your heart in. We are taking a standards. Yes, we are done well. But now, we have shown at least some talent.
The Eastern region won the Girls' Championship after beating Kampala. A team of 16 players has been selected to represent the nation in the forthcoming African Championship due in Nairobi next week.
Airtel Rising Stars, one of Africa's greatest football tournaments, has returned. If you're out there, we'll find you.
Finally, in NTV Weekend Sport for this week, in baseball, Chambogo Buffaloes have retained the National Baseball League title after registering victory against Victory Rovers Lugazi in the decisive game played in Kampala this weekend. Chambogo came from a game down to square the score before claiming the third and determining fixture.
Chambogo Buffaloes had to wait until the last innings to claim the decisive game of the National Baseball League playoff final in Kampala. Chambogo went unbeaten in regular season but faced a huge challenge in the best-of-3 playoff as they lost Game 1 at home to Victory Rovers Lugazi. They came back to contention after leveling the score with a win in Game 2 to force a decisive Game 3 this weekend. The highly contested game had Chambogo Buffaloes and Victory Rovers tying at 8 before the last innings went in favor of the defending champions, 9-8 for Chambogo.
Our hitting hasn't been so much good, so we need to improve on that. Yeah.
The National Baseball Governing Body will now embark on a recruitment drive up country as well as looking for funds to facilitate the national under-15 side to travel for the World Championship in Mexico. Alfred Odong, NTV Sport.
Well, that's all the sport we had for you tonight. Thank you for watching. Stay with us. Your comments are coming up next.
And feels the motherland like we do. So tune in every day at 6 p.m. and Fridays from 11 p.m. for the best in homegrown music. Only on NTV, the station that celebrates local music talent.
Born to Dorothy and Alex Ochola on June the 3rd, 1987.
Thank you for staying with us. Let's take you back to tonight's NTV Weekend Poll, where we asked, what measures should the public take to curb the spread of Ebola? More of your responses. Dorothy Alaroka says the Ministry of Health should start by telling us the magnitude of the problem. Just the other day, they were telling us the situation is under control, but it doesn't seem that way. Only then shall we know how prepared we should be. Frank Tomichele says, make sure all involved hospitals, those with patients of Ebola, have the necessary equipment and drugs. Henry Nyende says the affected people should be isolated and then treated. Sensitization and hygiene should be increased by the government and community workers. Well, thank you so much for all of your responses, and they bring us to the end of tonight's bulletin. Thank you for watching. NTV Tonight resumes tomorrow. From myself and the team behind the scenes, it's good night and have a blessed week.
This is NTV.
In the club, in the pub, in the car, just living it up.
Born to Dorothy and Alex Achola on June the 3rd, 1987, our star profile today, Jocelyn Tracy Keko, grew up with a vision of becoming a force to reckon with in the music industry. Keko, whose name means early in the morning, is a Japadola Ugandan artist who comes from Tororo. Keko is the last born of 3 girls and schooled from Rockview Primary School, St. Noah and Maryhill High School before pursuing a Bachelor of Commerce at Makerere University. She's a Ugandan rapper who has taken over the music scene in Africa. Her rise to fame began in 2010 with the release of Fallen Heroes, which she appeared alongside other established Ugandan artists like Don MC, SP, Davis, and also the Mwamba Children Choir. Her breakthrough single, How We Do It, took the Ugandan charts and MTV Africa by storm, making her an instant household name in